Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome into the building. This is our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. And oh, what a night it was. You know what? They promised us that Aspen, this trip to Aspen, was going to be everything. And it's turning out to be a whole hot mess. I'm glad to see y'all. I see y'all out there. Glad y'all joining me for this recap. I hope you're watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, right? So listen, here's the thing. I don't know. Did y'all join me on Tuesday when I did my recap to Married to Medicine? If y'all happen to see Sin come in the building, me and Sin, we had a showdown. We had a showdown. Sin said I lost our bet. I'm not quite sure if I lost our bet, but I'm gonna roll with Sin and say, okay, I lost. So let Sin know. That's a gift card right there. That's a Starbucks gift card. We made a Starbucks bet. Sin got to get in touch with me, okay? Cause if I lost the bet, I lost the bet. Now I'm not quite sure I lost. I'm not quite sure I lost, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll with I lost. I see y'all are out there. Hi, how you doing? We got to get into this because this episode it had a lot of stuff going on. My buddy Canelo couldn't make it today, but I got this, okay? And y'all gonna hang in there with me. We're gonna break this down together. And I dropped the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat with me. So we open up. Listen, Kathy Hilton is high maintenance, okay? That's just point blank, period. Kathy is high maintenance, but Kathy is not she's not a label whore, right? You know what I'm trying to say? She's not a label whore at all. And that's what I do like about Kathy, okay? Kathy's not a label whore, but she definitely is high maintenance. Hey, Naughty Love. Thank you, thank you. So that's what I do love about Kathy is that, she's high maintenance, but she doesn't come in with the Fendi, the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton. She just shows up as herself. She was humble. She slept downstairs. I'm gonna call it the basement of Kyle's Aspen house with the bunk beds. And all she said to Kyle was like, "Listen, hello, I need some place to hang my clothes. There's no room in that closet to hang my clothes." And Kyle is a horrible. I'm not even gonna say bad. She's a horrible sister. You are so what is the word I'm looking for? You care so much about what was on your sister's feet when she was on the at the airport. Why does that matter what Kathy wore on her feet? She came to your event, she showed up, she's there. Why are you talking about her? Yes, Kyle was horrible to Kathy, but she's just overall. She's a horrible sister, right? We seen her do it to Kim, and I think we kind of gave her a pass, or at least I know I did. I gave her a slight pass because Kim had her substance issues, right? Her substance abuse issues, and I kind of felt like, you know what? She got her little substance abuse issues, and sometimes if you ever had a family member that you had to deal with that was dealing with substance abuse, you can get tired. It can weigh on you, right? But the way that Kyle is, she's just a bad sister, and I'm not feeling her anymore, right? Bonji, you in the building? Hey,
Hey, Diva, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. What did you feel about the way Kyle treated Kathy? I mean, even in just this beginning scene, like when she's talking about the fact that Kathy wore these slippers to the airport, what does it matter? She wanted to trash the slippers. I mean, is it really that serious? Your sister's here, she's healthy, she's supporting your Aspen trip, and all you're talking about is her footwear.
That was telling because Kathy is old money.
Yeah,
She's not new money.
right,
So
Period.
Kyle. We've always known that she's not a very good sister,
right.
but
Or
this
actress.
season it's just confirmed. And the first thing I thought of was, okay, if she can um be that superficial, what else can we expect from her? Because we know she's horrible.
You're
So
right.
so
Superficial. Yep.
yeah, I wasn't surprised, to be honest with you.
Me neither.
I'm just like, you're embarrassed of your own sister. You're talking about your own sister to Lisa Rinna. Like, what are you doing here? Like, who does that? Yes, no, Kathy is, yeah, Kathy Mary. Oh, she did hi bye. I said Kathy, Kathy Mary old money. But you know what though? They've been married for over 20 years, so she's used to that lifestyle. She has accommodated, she has adapted, and she doesn't have to show her money every single second, right? She's not coming around with labels all on her back. She's just like, I'm here. It is what it is. Kyle is just foul. Go ahead, Naughty Love. Welcome into the building. What do you have to say?
Hey,
Hey,
hey, Diva.
what's up?
The Kyle is so phony. I'm over her. She always humiliates her sister. She has no loyalty. It started from Kim. Remember with Kim in the
Yes, I
limousine?
do.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, there's a way there's a certain way I handle my family because they my family. You understand?
Exactly.
And I felt like from that moment she sold out, and she's willing to sell out anybody. Even what's the woman that owns all the restaurants? She
Oh,
proclaimed
LVP.
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 she
Yeah.
proclaimed to be her friend, and she was willing to sell her out. Okay, for a storyline. All right,
Mhm.
but I really think Kyle is very unhappy, Diva. Because I think her husband has a lot of secrets. Don't forget, he's tied up in that Erika Girardi stuff. Okay,
Miss Naughty, allegedly.
allegedly.
You know what, Nadi, I think you hit it the nail on the head, right? She's miserable. She wants to play it off like her and Mauricio just got this thing so together. They're so in love. But at the end of the day, only a miserable person could be that malicious to their own family member. So what do we expect her, and how do we expect her to treat anybody else? So Sebastian, how did you feel? I mean, she's talking about these slippers. She's making such a big deal about it. And not only that, to me, my sister, I don't care how comfortable those bunk beds are. My sister wouldn't have took that room. Somebody else would have got that room just because it's my sister.
I have a lot
She
to
wouldn't have
say.
been down in what I'm calling the basement. But go ahead, Sebastian.
Okay, first of all, if I was in her position, I understand families have issues. They have their issues like fights and etc. And that's completely normal. But when you're in front of a crowd or anyone, you must always remember that they're your blood. And you could have your issues with them, but like put those issues aside to defend them. But you can't, sometimes they are in the wrong, but you tell them they're in the wrong in
Behind
private.
closed
You
doors.
don't you do not be doing this in public. Kyle is just very thirsty, and she is vile. She is. And the thing is, and people are mad that people are against the Foxy Five, whatever they are, against them. But like, remember, the fans are mad after what happened to LVP. That's what happened,
Anthony
and
Richards.
Denise Richards. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what the fans were mad about, and the people who are holding them accountable, holding the Foxy Five squad accountable, is Garcelle, Sutton, and Kathy as well. So they will always be sliding in the comments, getting ready. So Kyle,
Mhm.
you better get yourself ready.
She
I
said
need
she
for Dorit and Kyle to be off the show. I'm over them. They're so phony. Like, ugh.
I know, right? Enough is enough. Shan, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but I'm with this on you, right? My sister would have gotten the best room, period. Okay. I don't care who else
Absolutely.
was there. I don't care who else
Exactly.
came in the building. I'm sorry.
That's my
Mel,
family.
in my family. Mel, what did you think about Kyle just talking about Kathy and her slippers? Like she act like she's embarrassed over her. Like, what did you think about that opening scene?
Well,
And how she wanted to throw him in the garbage?
yeah, I think that Kyle was showing her slip, as people say, showing her
Hmm.
hand. Listen, how many times? I think Miss Naughty was saying that she sells out her family. Listen, she sold out her own mother, and her mother's gone. That
Mm-hmm.
was a reason. That was a
Well,
reason why Kim had
Good
an issue with
point.
her, and so did Kathy. They said, "Wait a minute, don't be out there talking about our mother in a disparaging way on this series." So she would sell everybody. But I also think this. I think that in families, sometimes we have things that goes on between brother and sister, or sister and sister in our childhood. And I don't think that Kyle has ever gotten over it. That her sisters, they're funny, they're kooky, and they probably kept, busting her up a little bit as a kid. And every chance she gets as an adult, she would try to humiliate them. She would try to expose them. She would try to make them feel less than. Now, mind you, she can't do that with Kathy because obviously she's very, very rich. But when you come and hang out with her friends, you should be embracing. You should be hospitable to your own sister. You should not make her feel like a second-class citizen. I needed Kathy actually to pull Luann. Remember when Luann was forced to go down in the basement and she said, "I'm not going to the basement." And she left out in a big huff and all that. I needed Kathy to put a Luann moment with that because that room was claustrophobic. As a viewer, I felt like, oh, I'm gonna have a panic attack looking in that room because it was so damn small. So I think that, you know what, that whole cabin was small, and I'm surprised that Captain didn't pull a Dorit or pull the one who shall not be named and go over to the hotel and have a little more room. Yeah, it was just Kyle was just. Yeah, I think that she just don't like her sisters or like the way that they treated her when she was a younger person.
And she's still holding on. I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyle is true Hollywood. Like, she's very phony. She knows how to put on a front in the moment. She puts on that pristine face.
Yeah,
you know, in the moment. She acts. She acts in the moment.
She most certainly does, and it's a bad performance, okay? But we're gonna get to that performance when she was talking to Erika. Kai, you're in the building. What do you want to say about this whole scene? You know, Kathy needed her closet space, okay? But her own sister was talking about, you know, she's high maintenance and she wore these slippers to the airport. Just talking about her own sister so badly to Lisa Rinna. And also in this scene, you know, Rinna did say that Diana was out of control the previous night. And they all kind of agree that Sutton is good like one-on-one. But after that, you know, Sutton, you know, in the group setting, something kind of goes, you know, awry. And then Kyle had the nerve, you're still emotional over this social media unfollowing. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like,
let's
get into it.
Right.
Let's get into it.
Yes, go ahead.
That's West Coast vibes. That's West Coast vibes. No, because
I thought it was my turn.
I work with I'm an East Coast girl, and you know how we are. We straight up, okay? Like, cut. And I had to start working West Coast. And they're different. They're like laid back. They live in the clouds. Like, you can't say, like, if you say anything too strong, it's like taking sensitive and personal. They're like, oh my God.
They get in their feelings. They in their bag of feelings. Kai, you in the building. What do you want to add to the conversation?
About this scene, and let me know if I talk too fast because I know that's a comment around the YouTube streets. My mom's Jamaican. I talk fast. I know, so just let me know. Kyle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Kai, for me, I was gonna say this real quick. Diva Kai is about to set us on fire. She's been setting the YouTube streets on fire. You know what? I've known Kai for about a year. Me and her, we did some other shows together. I love Miss Kai. I love her. I didn't get a chance to say that she could. You talk brilliantly, Miss Kai. So you go ahead and do what you want to do because she's gonna give it to us right now. I know.
Go ahead.
Well, especially later on. Well, my disclaimer for later on is just that it disgusts me for a woman to have this platform and for her to be lying on people who don't have the same platform as her. So that's the part that really bothers me. So when people are saying I care too much, yes, I care too much because a woman's getting paid almost $1 million to lie on people who are literally begging for their money that they won. So yes, I care. Anyway, this earlier scene, Kyle has this weird thing where she likes to humiliate people that she says is really close to her. She did it. I said it earlier because I don't know if I was calling in yet deeper or not, but I said it earlier where the way she treats Sutton almost reminds me of the way she treats Kim, and now we see the way she treats Kathy. The people who she calls the closest to her, she likes to humiliate. Because even think about Dorit and Teddy. She used to talk down to Teddy, and then Teddy had to do a whole more metamorphosis to be BFFs with Kyle. The way she used to talk about Dorit. And then when Dorit was too glam for her, the way she would try to belittle, I don't even like Dorit, but the way she would try to belittle Dorit for taking too much time to get ready, when you know that's her happy place. So for me, this is just another proof of why I would not want to be Kyle's friend or Kyle's family member. Because if she says you're close to her, she's going to find a way to make you the butt of her joke. And she's going to make it look like, oh, I just know them so well. I'm just going to tell you about all their quirks. Let me show my quirks. You don't have to tell people.
You know
and
what?
it sure doesn't have to be your joke.
That's a good point. Now, Miss Kai, you know who didn't do, who I think was a gold star? Everybody, you remember this? Brandy. She never took her crap. So when they tried her the first season, Brandy got there, she put her on point from that moment she was there to the end of the series.
I want her back.
Yeah, but we saw how like people forget. I don't know if people just forget how Kyle used to act, or how Kyle acted. Kyle was nasty. I don't like Brandy. But Kyle was discussing
Yeah.
the brandy, talking about how her boys use the bathroom outside at a pool party and they were 4 years old, like all kinds of stuff. Calling her trailer park trash and all that kind of stuff. And now Kyle's the person who just, oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
If you
Moving on to
notice,
the Sutton.
Kyle's number one ammo is like she could point out everybody else's flaws, but when it comes to her own, she's a damsel in distress. Like
Just like
Yes.
Giselle Bryant, the same thing.
Just like the real Bryant. When it comes to the Sutton situation, I find it so strange that they're like, so strange that you all are saying you enjoy Sutton so much one-on-one, but in the group, yes, because in the group she has a conversation. I feel like reality TV is supposed to be half production and half this is real life. In real life, we talk to our girlfriends, we might have a little extra stank on it, but when we get in front of the person, we might calm it down because we want to actually have a civilized conversation. Or we say something to our girlfriends, but you know what? I'm trying to vent out my feelings. I don't want to tell this person right now. Kyle is the person who is literally, they are all always literally picking at Sutton to have a conversation that they all know is not going to go anywhere good. Or also, they set up conversations where they don't want it to be peaceful at the end. Like, they don't want people to have fights and make up at the end. They want it to keep going, and they see that Sutton's the new way to have these disagreements without them having to be really involved. Unless it's just setting it up.
Kyle is usually the one to bring it up. Kyle is always bringing it up, and she knows what she's doing when she's bringing it up. She knows that it's going to start a storm, so to speak, right? Yeah,
she's
nice, nasty. She's a mess. She's a hot mess. So and here's the thing. Somebody say, I think it was Pit Dog. I moved from the conversation. Pit Dog said I have an evil sister too. See, you know what? I have two sisters. And the thing is, I wouldn't trade them for the world. But if I had a sister like Kyle, I would say I have 0 siblings. She is a mess. I mean, to treat your own family, even if you're not getting along with your family, I think somebody already said it. You play it off in front of the people. You keep and then when you're in the house behind closed doors, then that's a whole nother story. But in front of the people, I'm not going to do that. Foxy, you are right. Kyle stays apart all the time. All the time.
Isn't Kathy older? Isn't Kathy the oldest or something? Kathy's the oldest out of everyone on that group, right? And they have her sleeping on a bunk bed, shaking my head
because it's her sister that is spearheading the whole trip, and it's her sister's house. So if somebody else did the trip and Kathy ended up in the basement, I'm calling it, with the bunk beds, then I'm gonna let it slide. But it's her own sister, and I thought it was just super, super messy. Thank you,
Diva, before you move on, I agree with you that she fooled us for a long time.
She did.
Not only was she mean to Kim, she stole Kim's house, remember?
Mm-hmm. Listen, they said a drunken mind speaks the truth, right? Kim was out, she was a little tipsy or something going on at that moment, but she was speaking the truth when she said you stole my house. She said she was speaking the truth, right? So it was messy. Now listen, this was kind of like this was a nice moment, right? Half the group went to skiing and half the group went snowmobiling, right? So in the car ride, Sutton was like, I guess I'm going to hang out with my non-friend Erika. Okay, Cherie, listen, I love to give the new people a chance, but Cherie is a waste of our time. She doesn't know when to jump in. She's not fitting in. When that whole, we're not there yet, but when we get to the whole scene where they're confronting Erika about these earrings, Cherie could have spoke up and said something. She's just sitting there like a little lump on the log. And next, you know what we're going to demote her to if she comes back next season? Not a friend of the show, a friend of the show, because she deserves nothing, okay? She's not giving us nothing. So here's Sutton. So Erika, Sutton, Garcelle, and Cherie, they go snowmobiling, right? And if it wasn't for the latest scene, I was starting this season to like Erika a little bit, right? I was starting to like her with her, drunken moments because they was funny. And she was giving us something a little different. But that scene later on reminded me why I can't get with Erika, right? But at the snowmobile event, I was connecting with her a little bit, right? Because she was saying she said to Sutton, like, you know what? pretty much, I don't want this to be a heated argument. I want to kind of tell you that sometimes I do the same thing as you. I pop off in the moment, and then I have to backtrack and, you know, eat my words, so to speak, right? So when they went snowmobiling, it was kind of nice. Garcelle rode with Cherie there, but she couldn't take, Garcelle ain't for all of that fast and the bumps and whatever. So she got back on the snowmobile with her girl Sutton on the way back. And you know, here's the thing, and you know, I don't, you know, Garcelle, you know, I talk a lot about Garcelle, but I do like her. But Garcelle wanted to talk about the drinking with Erika, but as soon as they got off that snowmobile, she wanted her something to drink. And the guy had to remind her, listen, we can't be drinking and driving, okay?
Come on now.
You gotta get some, you can have some tea, you can have some hot cocoa, but we can't be putting you on these snowmobiles.
He wasn't driving.
Like
She wasn't driving.
drink.
He didn't want the housewife driving into the woods. He didn't want that.
Exactly. Okay. He didn't want it to be a whole situation.
She was a passenger.
Yes. And then the other group went skiing. It was Crystal, it was Dorit, it was Kyle, it was Rinna, it was Mauricio, it was Kathy, and it was Diana. Now, I don't know. I haven't been anywhere, I guess, where the altitude kind of changes. But Diana, I thought we was going to have to call the EMS, because she was like, I can't breathe. Okay. She was carrying them skis up the hill or whatever, and she looked like she couldn't half breathe. But Crystal could ski. Kyle could ski, Rinna could ski. I didn't see Kathy skiing. Did we see Kathy skiing? And Diana could ski. Okay, Dorit kept busting a little butt, but she said she wasn't on skis for like 20 years. And pretty much, the scene where they went on their different events, I did like it. What do you think, Mel? I'll go to you first about Erika in that moment. And listen, Erika was brave to even go with that group, knowing that particular group, she wasn't really friends with anybody. Mm-hmm. And she still went snowmobiling. So I gave her credit for that. I don't know if I could have did it, but she did it. What do you think about that scene?
You know what? I think that it seemed like a producer's trick a little bit, because I was just trying to figure out how in the world did she get in that car with those ladies who, I mean, Cherie she likes, but the two other ones, they having constant battles. So that made me scratch my head. Like, why? How was this set up? Why wasn't you? Maybe I thought. Listen, you know what I thought, Miss Diva? I thought Dorit should have been in that van because she can't ski. She took about 2 hours to get down that hill, so she needed to be in that van with those ladies, just on those bikes, or whatever. And Erika should have been on the skis thing. I think they should have did it, but I guess the producers being messy and they wanted to see that awkward moment, which was awkward when she first got in. Nobody helped her with the door. They all were quiet and silent, and I was like, oh my god. So that was pretty interesting. But you know what? Listen, I don't hate Erika. I think when she was at the table, she has realism to her. But again, as I said, on the screen and behind the scenes, when we talk, I was like, you know what? With her, she is just so mean. She is so mean sometimes. But so when she is not mean, she can be tolerable in that moment. And she was sitting there, and I kind of felt like she knew she was outnumbered. So she wasn't going to pull all that crap without her girls behind her.
That's a good point. Okay.
So she wasn't going to get loud and get messy and read. She was going to sit and shut up, like, and listen to people instead of screaming. And it made her, almost halfway decent in my mind in that moment.
It did. And listen, Mel, the High Vibe said the reason why Dorit didn't go in the other group because she had to follow behind Mauricio.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Exactly.
We'll get there.
Allegedly. Hold on.
Wait, give me a moment. Sin, let me tell you something. Look, because I'm a woman of my word. Now, I don't know, Sin, if I lost for real, but you claim I lost my bet. So, Sin, you got to email me. But that's your prize, okay? If you beat me up on Tuesday, we're gonna talk later, because I don't know if I really lost, because she did pull off She by Sheree. It ain't my fault that the designs wasn't authentic. Okay, it ain't my fault that the designs were not authentic, but whatever. You won, Sin, and I got your gift card. Okay, so listen, you are right, Mel. I didn't think about it on that lines. I just thought that she was actually being civilized for a moment, but I think you're right. She knew she was outnumbered, and that's why she kept it calm and kept it cute.
Diva, she's no better than a keyboard gangster. She got all that mouth.
Very calculated.
Yeah, she got all that mouth when her girls around her. But when
Erika's
she's alone,
very calculated.
yeah, when she's alone, she don't have all that mouth. She was outnumbered. So
y'all got me. Y'all help me out there, because I fell for the okie doke. I did.
It's something very inauthentic about Erika that I don't like, and I feel like she tries to flex her muscle on the weak.
Oh, she does, because she proved it that when they went back to the house. We'll get there. She proved it because she was all up in Crystal's face. But we'll get there. We'll get there. What?
I think it's because it's like she puts on a caricature of a Black woman. It just, her whole facade has been something that she's like not of, and that's why she came on the show like acting so, too cool for school. But now she doesn't have the financial backing for it. So I feel like we're watching her even go harder to make sure that the girls stay afraid of her, because it's like I don't have the money and I don't have the top lawyer behind me anymore, even though I think she does. But to them, she doesn't. So let me snarl and show my teeth more now.
Exactly. But and I feel like she go after. I really feel like she go after the people that she know not gonna really snap back. Like she wouldn't come at me or you like that.
No. she knows, because look how she came at Crystal and Crystal lost her words. She lost her words. But you know what though? Erika, if we remember, she was always nice, nasty. She was always nice, nasty. She came at Dorit with the Pantygate situation. Remember? She came at Dorit, and she pretty much, after she took the joke for a little bit, but when she was done with the joke, she told them enough and to shut up. And we're not talking about it no more. So she was always that way.
Well, that's true. And even Eileen Davidson in China, she went crazy on her at the table. So yeah.
Right. When they talked, are you talking about the scene when they talked about her son? Well, they didn't really talk about her son.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Right. She felt like
the slightest mention, and she snapped.
She's not. So she was always nice, nasty. But I thought that moment, phony or not, I accepted the moment. And, and the skiing event, I thought it was cute, right? And listen, the Aspen rental, they got me wanting to go to Aspen. That rental is everything. Everything. You okay? Okay. Yeah, the rental is everything. Okay. So now they go to dinner, right? But before they even go to dinner, see, Garcelle gets herself in a little bit of trouble, right? Because she always has these side pocket conversations about Erika. So you having this conversation with Crystal, and Crystal, you are punk. You should watch your mouth. Like, you should watch the conversations you get into, because you can't hold your own. So they had this side pocket conversation about these earrings that were originally $750,000, but now they're worth $1.3 million. And now Erika told Garcelle, no, $1.3 million. And Erika's like, what? I mean, Garcelle's like, what, both, each one? Okay, so these earrings, right? So they're talking about it, and Garcelle talked about it on The Real. Now, I actually saw The Real episode when she did talk about it, right? Me too. And so my thing is, I get it, Garcelle, you had to talk about it on The Real. I get it that, you're not going to talk to Erika about it, and I understand why, because it would have just started a bigger fight, right? But my thing is, why did you even have this conversation with Crystal?
If it was about Erika, why didn't we go to Erika? I'm just saying, be bold enough.
Yep.
Go to Erika with the sauce, okay? Don't go.
She did eventually, though, right?
Make her nice, nasty.
Yeah, she ended up going to her, right? No, Erika, no, Diva. Erika has always been nasty. Yes, we said that. Always saw right through her ever since she called LVP a sniper from the left. I do remember that, right? Think about it. She was really speaking about, that's a good point, Miss Gigi. She was really speaking about herself, right? She was really speaking about herself. That's facts right there, right? So anyway, so eventually, they kind of do that, and now they're going to dinner. Now they all look pretty good to dinner. Now Kathy gave Sutton a little slight at putting Sutton in the itty bitty boo committee. I'll say it like that. She talking about, Kathy told Sutton, you could wear that dress because you don't got no boobs, okay? And I'm like, Kathy, but Kathy says stuff out her mouth, and I don't even think she realized what she's saying sometimes. What is with Cherie in all of these berets? Like, why does she wear these berets? Like, I don't get it. Okay. Now, again, this is the insensitivity of Erika. You showing this $1,800 clutch. You're talking about all of these other pocketbooks and everything you discover when you moved out. All Erika is concerned with is the fact that she lost her lavish lifestyle. That's her only concern. And Garcelle starts talking to her about the earrings, at dinner pretty much. And she's like, listen, I'm not going to give up nothing until a judge tells me I got to give it up. Now, what else happened at that dinner? I think that kind of was pretty much everything at the dinner. Oh, Kyle again, disrespecting Kathy, saying that look at this pocketbook that Kathy brought, to dinner, and told Diana, do you see this? Here's the thing. Does it matter? What if I brought, sometimes when I'm out like that in groups, my girlfriend, she be like, enough, because I'd be like, oh, put my wallet in your bag, because I'm not even bringing a bag. Like, I'm not like I constantly use other people's stuff because I don't feel like carrying anything. What is the big deal? Why is Kyle so, concerned about the way Kathy looks? I'm surprised she didn't say anything to Kathy about her outfit. What do you want to say, Nadi?
I think Kyle does not have a storyline, and that's why she leeches off of her sisters. I'm just saying. Because what else is her storyline? Her kids are growing. They're doing their own thing. I think Kyle does not have a storyline. So she chooses to insult her sisters and throw them under the bus. She makes a conscious choice of that on a regular basis, Diva. To throw her sisters under the bus. For her storyline, she'll do anything for fame, to look good, to keep on the image. She wants to keep up the facade, but like I see right through it. I don't know about anybody else on the panel. Like, I really don't think she's happy. I think she's miserable.
She is miserable. What was I gonna say? Kai, what do you think about that?
I think we keep watching her live in the glory days, and I think it is a different story than what she said last year, because last year she's just like, I don't need the things, I just leave. But now every time we're going somewhere, you can't help but talk about the places you went to, how you got there, the private plane. You can't help but talk about, oh, this bag, I couldn't remember I had this bag. And it just seems so foolish to be listing off all these things on international TV when people are watching this show every single week and writing down everything she says to put in lawsuits.
Right. I mean, has she not watched what happened to Apollo and Phaedra with Candy's garage? Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget about the stolen Rolex. Remember the stolen Rolex? That was a whole storyline. Her Rolex got stolen.
Yeah, you know what I think is going on with Erika? In her mind, she is so pissed off about losing this lifestyle that she feels is not her fault. And she's wondering why her friends or co-workers, whatever she wants to call them, are not understanding her side of the situation, which it really baffles me. Are you really that tone deaf that you don't understand whether you believe you are responsible or have some responsibility in this or not? You really going to sit there and talk about your $1,800 purse, how you feel you don't have to give these earrings back, and then you're talking about your other luxury items that you rediscovered as a result of having to move out your mega mansion. I'm just like, this chick, she can't be serious right now.
I mean, but Diva, this is what happens when you make a housewife. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was never about the love. It was about the stability and sustaining the life.
The lifestyle.
Look at the adjectives that describes Erika. Nice, nasty, mean. You know, she's very cold. We don't know who she is. We don't know who Erika is.
You know what? Erika to me is like a meaner version of Anna Nicole Smith and Sonia Morgan. Because both these people, when they lost that life, they do talk about lifestyle, which I think is sort of common when you have a very high lifestyle, then you lose it. Now, Erika, for me, she's a woman who knew what she wanted. She thought that man was going to give it to her. This man was going to be worth millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. It didn't work out like the woman who shall not be named by me. But for her, come on now, let's see if you get the joke. But for me, That's why she idolizes her. She's like, oh my gosh, you got that settlement. You got $250 million. It didn't work out like that for you, Erika. Nobody in this cast is responsible. But I want to say one thing. I want to rewind a little bit. Cherie, I'm noticing on Cherie, what I do is Cherie, at one scene, she made fun of Sutton's ankles. She said, you have wrinkles on your ankles. They were laughing. So I thought that was pretty shady remark. Also, when they was in the van going to the vehicle moment, she was sort of annoyed with her. She was like, why are you talking about Erika? What's going on? As we still on the blog, Cherie likes Erika. So I just feel like Cherie just doesn't like Sutton. But I will agree with her one point. Listen, when Sutton was trying to get in the car to go to the dinner, she needed help. And she was like, come on, Cherie, help me. I'm like, Sutton, I love you, but listen, don't talk to that woman like that. She's not the help. She's not there to sort of get you into the car. If you wanted somebody, you should go in that house and see if somebody in there can help you in the car. You don't talk to another cast member that way. At least in my opinion, that's what I thought about that. But Garcelle, and now me and Diva talk about this a lot. I think, and now this is the first time I'll say it, I actually think that Garcelle, when you so let's talk about the girls on Potomac when they do shady, reasonable shady, whatever. I think it's a responsibility if you're in the cast. You talking about, as we talk about with Heavenly, if you talk about other cast members on different mediums and platforms, you should advise them. You're not friends with them. You say, hey, girl, listen, we ain't cool, whatever, but I'm about to talk about you on my show. Give them a heads up. You text them or do whatever. I don't think that you should do like Garcelle has done and say, well, she's going to be mad when she finds out, because that leads to more confusion and more problems. For me personally, I don't like you, but I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm talking about you on a national program. That's just what I feel about that. When it came to Garcelle, I love Garcelle, but I think that when it came to her real moment, she should have told Erika. And trust me, I have no use for Erika.
I just feel like Erika, like, she just doesn't want to be accountable for anything.
Not a thing.
All. And she just wants us to be like green when it comes to her, like, oh, I'm a housewife. But if you notice, she hasn't performed. She hasn't had any shows. She was booming and popping before all of the scandal came out. She's not doing anything, but I just really feel like she's really like fake. I don't even know who she is at this point.
Well, you know what? That's proof right there a little bit to me that he was paying for all of these concerts, right? Because if he was not, if these were legit concerts and people were really buying the tickets like that and you was performing like that, why can't you perform now? Why aren't you recording now? You would need the money more now than you did back then. Right. So, and like somebody mentioned too, why not do a benefit concert for these people? Why not show something to say that, you know what, this was not my fault. I did not know, but guess what? I do care about what I'm saying. She's trying to play both sides of the fence because she's saving her husband too, because every time you turns around, she says, well, how do we know that they didn't get paid? How do we know that they're business? How do we know XYZ? What do you mean, how do we know? I don't see any court that is going to drag someone in and say, oh, you didn't pay these victims. They got time to waste like that. They want to pick on just your husband. But you know what? Someone else said, I forgot who I was listening to, and they made a very good point. There were multiple people in on this scheme. He could not have done this alone. There had to be accountants. Those other lawyers had to be involved. It wasn't just Tom, because he wouldn't have been able to get away with this on his own.
David, can I speak on that?
Yes, go ahead.
The fact is, Tom was a major donor to the governor. Tom was very much so instrumental in a lot of judges getting their positions, becoming federal judges for California. Literally to the point where the victim who was the burn victim, the parent, went ahead and talked another friend into using Tom. When they went to go sue Tom for not giving them the $12 million, they had to hunt for a lawyer that would have this, that felt comfortable enough to sue Tom, because that's how afraid people were of Tom. Tom had clients who were going ahead and filing complaints against him, and it never showed up on his page for the state bar, because the state bar never put them up for clients to be able to see.
Money out.
No, it's like you can file a claim of like, hey, this lawyer did X, Y, and Z, and so clients can look at your profile on your state's bar. Nothing was ever put on his profile for the California State Bar. For 20 years, he had so many claims that were never publicized.
And why did Sutton feel like she needed to? Can I just make this point? Why did Sutton feel like she needed to contact her lawyer? Say what you want about Sutton, but she's a very smart.
Everyone did though. That pissed me off.
Yeah,
Everyone was.
I feel like everybody contacted their lawyers because they may have had some contact at some point in time in this whole ordeal. Like, I mean,
I
come on,
think
Kyle's husband is
you
coming
know
up
what
in
they
it now.
all did. They all did. They all were scared, but they wasn't gonna say anything to her face because she's a pit bull. She's a pit bull, and they wasn't gonna say anything to her face. But I do believe for sure, they all contacted, their lawyers, and that's why what I don't care what you say about Sutton. Sutton speaks up though, and maybe she,
I like Sutton.
and listen. God bless Sutton because they beat her down to a pulp on the show. She's always, almost every scene, she's taking the brunt. She's getting the beat down. And although, Garcelle steps in for her, it's more of a step in than she did last season. I'll give that to her.
You know
She
what, Diva?
definitely is stepping in more than she did last season.
That's
You
right.
think
I
you
was
think
gonna
that
say.
Garcelle, like the first season, she was trying to fill it out to see where she fit in, and she found that niche with Sutton, and they were able to gel and bond, and so they combating it. Combating the girls together because the rest of them are mean girls. Like,
oh, they are, they are. Belle, what was you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I think that this season, Sutton's face role is getting used overtime for her distressing.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I mean, for Erika to say, I'm not giving up these earrings until a judge tells me to. She said it's a property fight. She said she's fighting for her life. I mean, come on. I just couldn't believe it. And it's just like, it was absolutely insanely crazy. So we got to get to after dinner, right? After dinner, they go to the Aspen rental. And let me tell you something, that rental is everything. And like they said, I never even knew there was such a thing as a heated driveway. Okay, for sure. That's money. Okay, I was like, the driveway is heated. Okay, that's money. I want to be in that rental, right? So Rinna gives Cherie pot. But Cherie and her stupid self, she takes it because she gave her like an edible that had weed in it, right? And then, but Cherie is like eating it. I'm like, Cherie, are you stupid? You messing with something that Rinna gives you, okay? Kathy tries to talk about her tequila. And Kyle, this is where I really lost all respect for Kyle. Because listen, to me, reality show is also about doing the candy thing, right? And the candy thing is every business you got, everything that you're doing. Since you got this platform, go ahead and promote that thing on this platform. She laughed in her sister's face pretty much. She didn't want her sister to talk about it. She was disrespectful, out of line, and out of pocket. Akala is the worst sister ever. She goes down in history as being the worst sister ever, right? So then they talk about these earrings yet again. Diana had the nerve to say, "Put your money where your mouth is."
Don't
That
get me started, Diva.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna let you in. Let me finish the recap here, and I'm gonna let you in. She had the nerve to say, "Put your money where your mouth." If everybody can do something about this, let me tell you something. I don't have to give no victim any money. The person that wronged them is still here and alive. Get the money from them. I know in real time they have sold off a lot of stuff out of that mansion. I mean, go back to Erika, get every last pair of red bottom shoes. I don't care what you got to do. Sell everything and get the money, get the most maximum money that you can, okay? So as they're talking about these earrings, right, Garcelle is like, listen, somebody, can you mute yourself? Because feedback is now coming through. Until you start talking to me, I'm not sure who it is. Can everybody mute themselves? Yeah, I don't think it was your fan. Okay, so so they're talking about these earrings and they're pretty much telling Erika, give it up for principal, right? And so Erika lost her mind, lost absolute control, right? When what was I gonna say? When Crystal got into the fight, okay? She was all up in Crystal's face. She asked
the
Crystal
weaker
for
one.
proof. The weaker one.
one.
The weaker one. She asked Crystal for proof, and Crystal just shut down. I'm like, come on, Crystal. Speak up, girl. You got in this fight, so stay in it. Now, listen. Did you notice how all of them tried to save Erika because they knew she was committing. You can't say certain words on this on YouTube, but you know what she was committing. She was really drowning herself in that scene, right? And her people tried to save her. Kyle tried to save her and told her to shut up. Okay, Dorit tried to save her. Lisa Rinna tried to save her. So they were trying to save her, but she was so once Erika goes black, like she blacked out, she can't bring herself back. She can't bring herself back. So they tried to save, but they even whispered to each other. Did you see that? When Rinna was like, we got to get her out of here. And Dorit was pretty much like, I tried to stop her. And then they went and told Diana. And that's when they pretty much dragged her out of that house because they knew the more she talked, the more people were going to hate her.
And
so
you know what?
Yeah.
And you know what? This is why I like you. I follow Denise Richards. I'm living for her comments right now. Oh, come on now. Denise Richards has gone off since that episode. Come on, if anybody watch it. I know she's mad. She's like, wait a minute. We had a cast member come up on that show a couple of years ago, and Lisa Rinna, what you did was you wanted me to sit in front of the cameras and deal with some lies. And here you have a alleged person committing, extortion, a crime, whatever. I don't know what the term is that she's guilty of. And she's giving the tea. She's giving the truth. She's drunk. She's telling everything in front of the cameras and producers. She's telling her truth. And you're protecting her, taking her away from the cameras. Why, when it was me being grilled, when I was sitting at those tables and I was saying bravo, 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 you said that I was being every name. You called me everything but a Christian. And you wanted me to sit there and take it. So I'm living for Miss Denise Richards' Twitter right now. I'm living for
Hey Mel, but we're not gonna act like Erika don't have an offshore account. Like, come on, people. How she living?
I'm not touching that. Listen, I'm already
housewives not paying for that lifestyle.
I ain't touching it, but I will say that it was
allegedly.
Come on, thank you, Nadia. Listen, I learned my lesson from these weeks. Come on, I'm saying alleged. But yeah, so I think that it was just Lisa Rinna again, you know what? It's just like she showed her hand too, because she says she's not capable of hiding her friend's secret. And she told Denise Richards, oh well, we got to be truthful. No, that's a total lie.
Lisa Rinna totally threw Denise under the bus. She did.
So hold on one second, guys. So Vegan Gold, I hear what you're saying, right? You said I love the opinion, but if I was innocent, I'd probably be just like Erika. Just because y'all think I'm guilty don't mean I'm supposed to fold. But see, here's the thing, Vegan Gold. We're not asking her to fold. We're asking her to give up the earrings to some victims that we know are victims, right? We're asking her to give up earrings because, listen, if it were my husband who is being accused of these horrific things, even if I didn't know, every shoe, bag, dress,
I would
jacket,
give it back.
pocketbook, I would say, listen, take this and make the victims right. I can always buy another shoe. I can always buy another bag, but I can't buy back my integrity, and I want to sleep at night. If I got to live in a studio apartment just to make these people whole, then that's what I'm going to do. Do you remember? Let me just add this. Do you remember that somebody can everybody mute for a second because we getting feedback again. Do you remember that Bernie Madoff story? The wife and the kids swear they didn't know until the bitter end. But all of them suffered. They lost everything. I'm not saying it's right, but once if you are connected to the person you marry, whether it be right, wrong, or indifferent, okay? So if my husband is accused of horrific things, I would come out and say, I'm not going to fold. I would come out and say, listen, I didn't know, but I do have compassion and feel bad for these victims. So here go the money. Okay. Pia, come back if you get a chance. I was coming to you. Daniel, you're in the building. Oh, you there, Pia?
Yeah, I was just muted the whole time. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. So go ahead. What do you want to say? Add your commentary.
First, let's. I'm not supposed to be speaking.
Me or somebody else?
I was supposed to be speaking, I believe.
Okay, go ahead, Kai. Go ahead, Kai.
Okay.
Let's hit on Dirty Diana real quick. Dirty Diana sets up this charity fund. And again, people who hurt me already or other people, I'm going to keep repeating it. That way everyone knows what's going on. She set up this charity on a website that literally the logo is set up a charity in 5 minutes or less. This charity has no connection with the lawyers who represented those victims. Also, these victims have already been paid. The Illinois lawyers were the co-counsel for that lawsuit with Tom. They were the ones who blew up Tom's spot publicly. They took out their insurance policy, made a deal with the victims saying that we will sue Tom to get paid while we take out our insurance fund and we will pay you. So the $2 million for the air crash victims has already been done. So what are you raising money for? Or did you not do your due diligence to know what's going on? Also, she says the headline says donate it in her press release, but in the actual wording, it says will donate, as in she has not done it yet. And then further down, it says, we welcome everyone else to donate. You haven't donated yet, and yet you're asking other people to donate, and your friend can't give up her earrings? What foolishness is this? To Erika, I get the whole legal situation. You want to go through the courts, be my guest. But then don't get upset when people are side-eyeing you because, yes, you're going through the courts, but at the same time, you're saying, we don't know if they're not lying. What victims? We don't know what Tom did. Tom has been disbarred for failing his fiduciary duty to his clients, aka misappropriating and / stealing their money. So that has already been handled. Literally, the judge who froze their accounts says Tom is a two-bit fraud, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Because there are lawsuits from far away from like 1990, where he won $118 million, and over 2 years he gave the victims $81,000. There's over almost $500 million that came through his law firm that they don't know what's going on. So for her to go on national TV and keep repeating, what victims? Do you know the facts? Everything's in a lawsuit. Everything has been tracked. He's literally been disbarred because of it, not because of mental health decline or anything like that. He's been disbarred for failing his duty to his clients. So she's on TV. Go through the legal system, but then don't lie about what your husband did, because that makes me feel like you're guilty somehow, some way. Why are you covering up for him?
It funded her whole career.
Like that.
I have to make a correction though. It wasn't his partners that paid that $2 million. It was J.L. Ellison.
I said the Illinois co-counsel. I was correct. Illinois co-counsel. I did not say his partners. I said the co-counsel in Illinois.
He took the money and paid them, and he refiled that suit in California. So he's still going after Erika for that money for the Lion Air victims.
But I'm saying those victims have been paid. So Dirty Diana set up a charity for victims that's already been taken care of.
And she didn't say she was donating. She pledged. She made a pledge. And everybody knows, anybody can say, I make a pledge to do something, and whether you do it or not is one thing. But she's directing them to her charity. To her charity.
They all
got some nerve.
They all frauds.
Dirty
Daniel. Okay, so hold on 1 second. Daniel, you're in the building. What do you want to add to the conversation?
Hey, Daniel.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk about Dorit smooching up with Mauricio. Hi, honey. Hi, baby.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that?
What's on the menu? I want to get some more of that food they have. What are you gonna get? While Kyle is playing around, trying to narrate the event, you got Dorit sitting right next to Mauricio playing footsie with him. You don't play that in New York. You're not gonna sit next to my man. I don't care who you are. I don't care how close you are to me. You ain't going nowhere near him unless I'm there. And that's what she just failed to pay attention to what Dorit and Mauricio were doing.
Y'all know in Hollywood they share husbands. I mean, that's just the norm.
I don't care. I don't care.
I mean,
the norm. No, not in New York City.
You know what? Let me be honest with you. So I have a lot of my girlfriends three of my girlfriends, we're over 20 years of knowing each other, right? And I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. To me, if your partner is going to be dirty and grimy and do something, they're going to be dirty and grimy and do something. Now, like my girlfriends, like, you know, they sat next to him and had conversation, whatever. I ain't think nothing left right of it. Okay. Talking about horses.
Not in New York, because I've had guys smooching up with my man behind my back, and they were quote unquote my friends. And I've had them do things like behind you. Oh, tell your boyfriend I said hey. Meanwhile, they're in his phone texting him and doing things to him.
Mm.
I've had one too many situations where
Monogamy is
quote
common.
unquote friends, and they were long term friends doing things behind my back to a guy I was talking to. Like, this had no respect for me. So no, we don't play that in New York. I don't care who
The new
you are.
generation,
You're
everybody
not
hooks up with
going
everybody,
near
but
him
monogamy has been tainted.
without
Okay,
my
nobody
third
believes in
eye on you.
monogamy anymore.
You said
And
you got your third eye on them. I ain't mad at you,
yeah,
Daniel.
like
I
no,
ain't mad
no,
at you. You
you're
know,
not addressing him.
people can be grimy. Yes.
You're addressing him by his name, not honey. If a honey comes out your mouth, we got
Or
some
a
words.
babe.
Or babe, or if you're
It-
commenting about what's on the menu while I'm not looking, we got words. We're gonna get it.
oh, so on site you ain't playing them games. I'm
I
not
don't
mad
play
at
them
you.
games. I do not play them games. You're not looking at him
Make
any
those
kind of
boundaries
way. Nothing.
clear.
I don't
Exactly.
play.
Period.
Make those
Period.
Diva, do
boundaries
you remember
clear.
Andrew?
Because people will creep behind your back. If you let your guard down for 1 second, they will do it. Trust me. I've been there too many times for that.
In
I hear you,
Hollywood
Daniel.
is the
I ain't mad at
norm.
you.
Like they accept that they have to have threesomes and things like they
I'm not with
want to
that.
do
No.
extra stuff.
No,
That
but you know what?
if you want to get in that industry, you know you have to do some weird stuff.
It's
Okay.
one thing. It's one thing when you say, okay, you have a guy, right? You have a boyfriend or girlfriend, let's just say, right? And you put all these expectations in that person that you have for a best friend into one guy you just met. Yeah, it's likely for that person to do something behind your back because as a human being, you don't really know that person. They don't have genuine respect or love or honest or in
So
fact
true.
feelings for you genuinely because as a human being they don't really know you, but your friend knows you. Your friend has been there for you for quote unquote how many years? Maybe to say 15, 20, I don't know, 10 years. And your friend is not supposed to do that. So it is expected of a boyfriend or girlfriend to do that because yeah, you're just getting to know the person and yeah, you're quote unquote in love, but your friend is not supposed to be doing that. That's not a friend to me.
Right.
And
Those are friends
Exactly.
you got
But
to
when
get
a
rid of.
person show
Summer
you
said, hold on. Summer said, trust no one. KK said, what happened? This is what I'm talking about, KK, right? What happened to trusting your partner to set those boundaries nowadays? Pure high school
Mhm,
mentality relationships. Yes, you got to trust your partner. You really do. And
mhm.
if your partner is not setting those boundaries with someone that's crossing the line, then your partner is the problem. The
then that's
enemy
why
is laying next to you. The enemy is kissing you. The enemy is hugging you because
that's
that's the person that should stop the shenanigans if your friend, a foe, or whatever try to come up to them. No, you block their text. You told them, don't text me. You know who I'm with. Your partner has to stop that.
That's
Yes,
why. That's why, as people, when we choose the people we're with, they say you marry your best friend. Now here comes the concept with that. Like when you're supposed to be with your best friend, you literally, genuinely grow a friendship with that person because your friend will not want to hurt you. Your friend will not want to cheat on you. Your friend will not want to upset you intentionally in any kind of way. And eventually, true love grows from that and flourishes and they truly become your best friend and you truly marry your best friend. That's why as choosers you have to choose your best friend as your lover because one day one of those friends that you grow friendships with will eventually fall in love with you and you will also fall in love with them. And that's why people say they marry their best friends because of that and they do it correctly, not going meeting somebody on a Tinder app or at the club and then oh my god I love him, he's amazing, he's great to my mother, but you
wait,
don't really
Daniel,
know
hold
him.
on, Daniel. There's some good relationships that come out meeting at the club. You never know where your mate's going
I,
to be.
I
You
did,
never
Diva,
know
Yeah,
can
where
I
but
your
just
it,
mate's
it
add
going to
to
doesn't
be.
what
last very
Daniel was
long.
saying
Hold
though?
on, hold on, guys. Wait, I'm gonna let you speak, Nani. You never know where your mate's gonna be. They could be in the grocery store, they could be in the club, they could be in the church, they could be on the corner. You know what I mean? Your mate,
Not on
the
the
true
corner.
mate could be your true mate could be anyway. Wait, I'm gonna let Nani Love speak, and then Sebastian, I'll come to you. Go ahead, Nani.
I mean, Diva, I believe in meeting people in the old fashion way, naturally.
Mm-hmm,
Like my current partner, like I'm very happy with. I met him through a family member. He had
mm-hmm.
history with that family member, so I could kind of trust where he came from. But I also am a true believer in what I learned, especially with dating recently. When people show you who they are, believe them. The only thing I can believe is your actions. I don't believe anything that comes out your mouth. You can say whatever you want, but it's the action behind it that
100%.
But you're putting all that expectation into a guy you just met.
But you have to take your time. You have to take your time to get to know people.
Exactly, and that's
you can't rush into anything. These things happen over time. So when people show you who they are, believe them. And the behaviors are there. You will see it. If you just take your time and sit back and observe. Like, I've learned not to reveal myself so much, so fast. I've learned to make people earn that from me.
And I agree with you, because for the human mind, it is impossible for somebody to fake to be somebody else for a whole year or two. You'll eventually see their true colors because their mind gets tired.
The world is crazy.
Hold on one second.
I mean, the world is crazier now because of everything they're giving us. But yeah, I mean, as normally, it's really hard for you to keep
let me
a
just
certain
throw this in
lifestyle
there.
for a whole year or 2 years.
Some people can fake it for 20, 15 years, right? So let me just throw this into the conversation. If somebody's out to defraud you and to try to scam against you, they may be a professional at it. Usually when someone's trying to do that, they will connect with people that they know they can kind of get away with it with, right? They know the energy. They can spot you in a room out of 100 people. They could be looking, be like, that's the one I'm going to be able to get away with this with. So you have real life true stories where people were married to a serial killer and had no idea. And you have neighbors that'll say, listen, I didn't know that person was like that. They seemed so nice. They always came out every morning and said hello to me. They helped me cut my grass. Do you remember that story where a young girl went missing and the guy had this chick in his basement for years? And the neighbors was like, we had no clue, but he always had dark curtains up at his window. But every time they said this man went to church, he was part of the band, he did this, he did that. People can deceive and fool you, and you never know. And listen, I'm going to say this. Sometimes you can be with somebody for years and they end up not being the one. Sometimes you can meet somebody and day two, you know that they are the one. So we got to be kind of open when you talk in relationships. You can't ignore red flags because they're there for a reason. But a lot of times, because, we're human and we want to believe the best in people, we get the stop sign and we blow through it. We get the yield sign and we keep going. We have a girlfriend or our friends tell us, you know what, that person just don't seem who they are. We tell them, no, they're a good person. I know them. So you never know a person until you know them. People can fool you. And I do, and not
people, circumstances changes people.
Circumstances changes people. And listen, I do believe like you, Nadi, that, you know what, I do like, so to speak, I'm going to call it referrals when it comes to relationships, right? But at the end of the day, if somebody is looking, I'm just saying be open because you never know where you might find the perfect match for you. It could be in your supermarket. It could be at the church. It could be on the train. It could be on the bus. It could be at the club. Okay, everybody that's in the club ain't shady. But go ahead.
But you know what? Yeah, you might say to be open. But don't be upset when they cheat on you and they'll say, I can't believe he did that to me. Like, what do you expect? He doesn't know you like that.
Can I say this? Me being new to the dating world, like I went through a divorce. I had to take a few years like to get myself together, like financially and everything, right? And I got out there and I tried to like put my foot in the dating world. And it was just nothing but like bums out there. Like, but when I pulled back and just totally focused on myself, and worked on myself and grew who I was as a person, I attracted a better person.
And that's a blessing.
The energy.
That's a blessing. Yeah.
That's why my trust does not lie in the truth of man. My trust lies in God alone.
And
say that, Toria, again. Hold on 1 second. Toria, what did you say?
I said, my trust does not lie in the truth of man. My trust lies in God alone.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, and I have to say one thing. We're both. like nowadays too, I have to feel like if you have God in your heart, because God brings compassion, and so like you never know who you're talking to at the end of the day. But like I said, with you, and I agree with you about it's a blessing that you gotta love yourself first, and then you will then understand and learn things about yourself
I
and
have
what you
clearer vision.
tolerate and won't tolerate, and then your energy will then change, and you will find better people. But then you will also take your time with people and try to get to know them, because you generally should build that foundation with somebody. Yes, you're gonna have a
Okay,
great
can
night
we
one
bring
day,
this
but
back around back to Erica? Because Diva's gonna do a relationship show, and then y'all can come and join us then.
well, back
He
to
got
back
too
Yeah,
to
I was
deep.
going
thinking
He
it.
around,
got too deep for you.
back to going around. Dorit will not
He was
Dorit
feeling in love.
a Dorit alike. Let's just call them a Dorit like person will not be around my significant other like that without me not noticing what she is doing. That's not gonna happen.
But you
But
know what,
yeah.
Okay.
Daniel? We're gonna bring this back. We're gonna bring this back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But let me say this
Yeah.
to you, because this is the vibe I'm catching. And I could be catching it wrong. So you could tell me if I'm catching it wrong. But the vibe I'm catching is that, and listen, we all been hurt. Listen, you live long enough in a relationship, you're gonna go through a little bit of pain, right? But the thing is to kind of move past that pain and know that you know what, everyone is not going to treat you like that, and things will be better. But my thing is, I've learned, but I've been on this earth for a while, right? I learned that I'm never going to worry about another individual. I'm not going to be checking you. I'm not checking your phone. I'm not checking your DMs. I'm not running behind
Exactly.
you. Either
That's
it's
right.
me and you, and when the moment I find out it's not me and you want to
It's
go
over.
there and be with her, then go ahead, be with her, and I wish you both well. I'm not going to be in no competition with no other chick. I'm not going to be so uncomfortable that I got to check you. When you are with me, you got to respect me and respect our relationship. And if somebody's coming at you and you know you with me, you need to check them, not me. You should
Mm-hmm.
check.
Exactly.
So you should text the
Exactly.
chick and say, listen, don't bop, 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 bop. So what I'm saying to you, Daniel, is that your man, whoever you're with, if they love you and respect you, they would check that person. You wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have to open your mouth to say anything.
And
They
if they
would
treat
check that person and tell them, listen, respect me and my relationship, especially if my man is sitting right here. You're not about to do that,
and
okay?
if
So
they cheat on me, I get a free pass, girl. Yes, honey. We
Whole
gonna be two
pass.
angry bitches,
Whole
honey.
pass.
Yeah. See, I'm
Free
done.
pass. You be bad
I'm
all
not
by
even going
yourself.
to
I'm
be
gonna go for
involved
my
with
free
those
pass.
shenanigans. Because listen,
Me
it's
neither.
going to be either I'm number one or I'm not in the
I'm
number at
nothing
all.
at all.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm
I'm good.
done.
And listen, the people need to understand is there are a lot of single people out there that's going to be ready to love you the way that you want to be loved. And it's going to be just you and them. And you can find that person. Keep trucking, keep looking, keep praying, and that person will come into your life. I think Dorit was being Dorit because her, Mauricio, and Kyle and them, they're all close, right? And so I have been in situations like that because me, my girlfriend, my mate, and her mate were all close. It was like we all blended one, but it was no disrespect, okay? And even like at the time, my girlfriend, because where my son's father worked, she needed to know some information about a situation. I said, girl, please just call him, because by the time I tried to tell him and then transfer the information to you, I said it's gonna go all sideways. Just call him. I have a whole high level of trust. And the moment I can't trust you, I don't even want to be with you no more,
It's
because it's going to
over.
be a headache to me, right? So that's the way I roll. But
I go cold,
I
diva.
just
I go cold. As soon as my trust is broken, I'm cold. Ice.
right, ice, yeah. And listen, last night we saw exactly why they call Erika the ice queen, right? She was cold as ice. She was up in Crystal face, and Crystal didn't know what to say at all. Garcelle, she hung in there. Garcelle is definitely doing better this season. Last season, I wanted to jump through the TV and choke her, but I gotta say, this season, She is doing better. She's asking Erika the questions. She's talking to Erika and saying, look, you don't want to give up these earrings. You
In
don't
her
understand
face
why I
too.
think you should give up these earrings.
In her
Um,
face
go
too.
ahead, Sebastian.
She's doing it in her face. I'm kudos to Garcelle because she has
I'm proud
improved.
of her.
And I've always been a fan of her, even though when she didn't do anything to her face or just did stuff in the confessionals. But kudos to her because she is improving. And you know what I think that made her improve more is being on the reel. I think the reel has changed her communication skills
She got them
because she
sister
became a
girl vibes.
host. She became a host and is now able to ask those tough questions. But now she got it over with. Kudos to you, Garcelle.
And you know what?
Yeah.
She's able to ask those tough questions without looking like they bitter, angry. The stigma, the black, angry black woman, because she went on to Candy's speak on it, and that's what she said she was gonna do. She was not gonna be the angry black woman, and I'm really
People want
proud
her
of
to
her.
be that.
I think
People
And you
she's
know,
want her to
and you
be
classy.
know
that.
I
what?
think
We
Yes,
have to
Garcelle is
give.
people in
We
our
classy.
have to
community want
listen.
Garcelle to be angry.
I have to.
People in
I
our
want to say
community want
this.
Garcelle to be aggressive too. I'ma
I
say
want
it.
to say this.
But
Garcelle
she
had
she tells
Garcelle
her
had
how she tells
nothing.
Erica without being aggressive. She tells her quietly, nice, and to the point,
Exactly.
and
I have to.
I love it. I
I
I have
love
to
love
it
the
say
way
too,
this.
she
especially the
does it.
classic line. Like, I don't have to make you look bad. You do a good
Do
job
that
of letting
all
us
by yourself.
know.
Wait, listen. I have to say this, and
Yes.
I wanna really, really emphasize this. Garcelle had nothing. She was not even an American citizen, and she came to the US. She built her own money. She
At the
bought a
age of 7.
house. She built a family. She is now a homeowner. She is on our TV screens, and she is teaching American women and American people alike to actually build their own money and be better and marry honestly. That is something that
Miss
Garcelle
Diva.
Diva, I know
You
you
think
cannot
she
about
not
to
married
take
jump
honestly?
in.
away.
Daniel,
She cannot
wait,
take
hold on,
away.
Diva, I'm
Daniel.
about to jump at the
Honestly,
screen
No,
right
that is
hold
success
on,
right
Daniel.
there. That is
Hold on,
success
Daniel.
right there.
Hold on.
Diva,
I love
no.
you,
No,
but
Diva.
I don't know if Garcelle is our poster child for all the things that you just said. Now, calm
Let,
down.
okay, I want to speak. I want to
I'm
Diva,
just
you
defend
saying,
have
let's
to.
Diva.
You
not
can't
forget
take
she
that
did
away
not get a
from her.
promotion on Coming to
She was
America.
on her
She was
TV.
still the flower peddler.
She
Well,
was
that's
on her
Okay.
TV screens
Okay?
when she was on the Jamie Foxx show when I was what
Okay,
12,
fancy.
13 years old. I was watching Fancy
Fancy.
on the Jamie Foxx show, and she did that on her own. Like she whatever casting calls that she made, she did that. And she got her money and she did what she was supposed to do
And
and
she
she was
married rich.
acting and she was
can I
funny
please say
and
something, please?
and she became successful.
Can I
And
say something,
listen, you
please?
cannot.
After
And you know what? You guys may laugh about Garcelle now because she maybe she threw up her paddle and she didn't give money. But you know what? That's her money, and she bought her own house. She got her own family, and she did it. And she did it as now an American citizen, a Black American citizen at that. And she is giving these girls like a run for their money right now, asking the honest questions and not looking crazy on TV.
can
Let
I
me
say
tell you
To
something.
something?
me, that's
No, 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 no.
success,
I
Garcelle is
want
a
to speak
class
first.
act.
and that to me that's
Hold on.
success.
Class
Because
I
we
want to
act
got to
speak
for
hear
first.
sure.
everybody
She's a
speak.
I
proud
want to speak
Haitian
No,
woman.
first.
okay, calm down. Hold on one second. We got to hear everybody speak. Nadi, go ahead. What do you have to say
No,
to Daniel,
no.
please?
Garcelle definitely a class act. She's a proud Haitian woman. But let me tell you something about Haitian women. They want to marry rich. They want to be secure. And that's why she married the way she did. I don't want to say that on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Her and her kids are secure. Them twins are secure. She's going to always be politically correct, but I like how she got her little sass this season, and she doesn't have to diminish her character to tell somebody like it is. And I like her delivery this season, and that's all I have to say.
Exactly. She learned. She
And
learned from
Sebastian.
her
Okay,
mistakes
hold on.
last season.
Sebastian, go ahead.
Garcelle Beauvais is the embodiment of the American dream. Garcelle, Wendy Osefo, there's a lot of them that are the embodiment of the American dream. You know, your
Karen
family goals.
Hugler.
No, Karen Hooger's not the embodiment of the American dream. I'm gonna just say that if you're born in this country and you can speak the language, you are 10 steps ahead of people who don't. So, exactly. So Garcelle
Wait.
worked.
I'm kind of.
I
You kind of. I
politely
gagged a
disagree
minute for
with
a second.
that.
Hold on.
Uh,
I
Mel, go
said
ahead,
if you
Sebastian.
don't have a language barrier,
Mm.
you are 10 steps ahead in this nation. I will say this 10 times, 100 times. It's true. You can speak multiple language. You can speak English. You understand everything. Garcelle came here not speaking English. She learned her way. She worked hard for where she is today. And if that does involve marrying rich, so be it. What's between her legs is hers. She does what she wants to do with it. And
Wait, there's no proof. There's no proof that she
Sebastian,
married rich.
Sebastian, you can't even talk straight right now, right?
There's no proof.
Stop the nonsense, Sebastian.
Wait,
Sebastian, here's the thing. Just because you come here and you learn the language, everybody else is 10 steps ahead. What if I
That's not why. I never said.
Listen,
That's not the
Sebastian,
reason
what if
why.
I was born dirt poor in the gutter, don't have nothing? I'm 10 steps ahead
Because you
Listen,
know English.
you
because I
have
know English.
more opportunities.
Yeah, I'm
You
sorry,
have
Sebastian.
more
You lost me about the Karen Hugler one. I didn't understand that.
You have more opportunities as someone who does speak English.
Excuse me. There's more Spanish people have more opportunities in their
Because
country.
they
They can take the
bilingual.
driver's
Because they
test in Spanish or
bilingual.
English.
Exactly.
So
they
is
speak
English
both
the primary
I'm
language
speaking
or
about
Spanish?
both can be the primary language. One in the house, one in one in their
Go,
social.
you got me saying good boy. Sebastian, I'm moving away from you for 1 second. Mel, what
I
do
know
you
you
have to say
are.
about this?
Well,
Hey,
I mean,
Mel.
hi. You know what? Listen, I'm listening and enjoying. I'm just listening to. I agree with the guys. Listen. I love Garcelle. I mean, I'm not just giving her, all these flowers. I think she's a beautiful lady. You listen. I think she's a beautiful lady. I don't think she's the second coming of Christ. But you know what? I respect the guys. They can feel how they feel. I'm enjoying Garcelle, and I love her. I like her, and I'm enjoying her this season. Hopefully, she'll come back next year, and she gives us a little more. Yeah, that's it. I'm enjoying Garcelle this year, and you know what I think too. I think that she kind of was fed up because I think for me, the character like Erika, as I said many times, you can't be in a scene with that lady being mean and miserable all the time, and like, girl, you know what? I had enough of you. I think she said at the Aspen. I think she said we don't gotta be friends. I think it was a long time coming because I personally don't want to see Erika on my TV, but I don't want to see her in my eyeballs.
Over Erika.
She is definitely a
Too
mean lady.
messy to
So
be
you know
her.
what? I'm glad that Garcelle was able to say that. So yeah, Garcelle gets no negative points from me. I'm enjoying her. I wish that she would have also told Erika about the real thing, but that was a small little thing. That's it. But other than that, Garcelle get an A+ from me. I like it. I like Garcelle.
And Mel, Sebastian didn't give Garcelle her flowers. He gave her the whole garden. Like, calm down.
I'm telling you, no.
Relax,
Listen,
relax.
I see the
Listen.
chat is coming for me for what I
Rooftop
said.
garden
I see
is
the I see
botanical.
the chat
okay.
is coming for me for what I said. I'm not dividing anything. Let me
I love
clarify.
you,
Yeah.
I'm
Sebastian.
just
I love
Yeah,
saying.
you.
yeah,
I'm
Sebastian, you
just
lost me
saying.
with Karen now.
It
You
is
talking about she's not
harder
successful?
when you are part of that said community of not speaking English as your first language. It is harder, and it's harder when you have to learn laws
Now,
and
Sebastian, are
economic
you speaking?
things in a new
Sebastian,
Sebastian,
your
wait
country.
a minute.
train,
That's what I'm
Sebastian,
saying.
no, Sebastian, your train is off the track. It has
Oh
been derailed. Go back, try to get it back on track, and we'll speak to you in a minute,
no.
okay?
Oh,
So,
no.
Can I
so,
just
but
make this point, Dina?
yeah,
Like, I feel like for me, if I were to go to another country, let's just say I went to Haiti, it'll be harder for me to transition to their culture as opposed to someone coming here. Because at least you got a bunch of aids and things like that that can assist you along. If I go to a third world country, I gotta figure it out from scratch, from the ground bottom. I gotta figure out the language, how to live,
Well,
what's
when
the
they come here,
laws.
they have to figure it out from
Right.
scratch too.
And
That's
what
my
if you
point.
did
Yeah,
and
but
you
okay.
got
I
on
mean, I
TV
So
think
over
people
hold
are
on
there?
more
one second.
willing.
Hold on one second. The train has been derailed. I'm gonna bring it back on the track.
Please
Listen.
do.
We gotta agree to disagree on this
Yes.
particular subject. I mean, I don't mind you giving Garcelle some flowers, but like somebody said, you trying to give her the flower shop, the garden. You kind of take other
The
people's
whole
flowers
farm.
and give it to her. You know,
Try to give her the
Garcelle.
whole farm.
Oh,
The
Lord.
whole thank you, Toria. Like we could give Garcelle her props, but she still got a ways to go. Okay, she still
Right,
got a
but you
ways
can't.
to go,
But you
but she's
listen.
doing
This is
better than
this is
she did
Daniel
last
speaking.
season. Yes.
Wait, this is Daniel speaking. But you cannot take away her success. You cannot.
She's successful for
Thank
sure.
you,
I
thank
don't
you. I
think
just
we.
wanted to hear that because there's a lot of hate for
No,
her.
I'm not
But
hating.
Garcelle
I
broke.
respect her as
but
a
you
black
can't take that away from her.
artist.
No,
Yes.
Daniel, listen, we're not going to take that away from her, but you're saying she's successful, but and Gabor's not here to say this for himself, but we got to remember she raised the paddle, and she didn't pay $5,000.
She broke. She broke.
Gabor, come up here. Gabor, get up
She
here.
raised the paddle.
Get up here, Gabor.
And she didn't pay $5,000. Okay.
Gabor, get up here.
How much success are we giving her when you don't want to pay a $5,000 bill?
No.
And listen, when I see this beach house renovated, then we could talk a little bit more. So Curve said, I have a florist for Garcelle. Y'all can give her the florist, the whole garden, give her whatever y'all want, but y'all doing the most right now. You're doing too much.
Diva, where's Gabor?
Yes.
Where's Gabor? So he
I'll go. Listen.
Get him up here. Get him up here.
She said a strong word.
A strong word. Successful is a strong word.
She has been missing until Housewives. And granted, she probably was raising her children, her twins. Okay,
she was modeling
her son's addiction and stuff like that. But she has been missing. Okay,
give her one more season, and she's gonna be the girl you want her to be.
Exactly. So wait, let me add this to the conversation too. I don't know where everybody, because we wanted her to speak up. Everybody got this concept that we want her to be rah-rah and be so ghetto and so low brow, so to speak. That's not what we want for her. All we want for Garcelle is to be the person she was being in her confessionals. So if you go back to all the confessionals, Garcelle gets gangster. So she is starting to slide a little bit of that gangster into when she's face to face with the people. So that's where we're going to give her credit.
Do that.
Yeah, but
I feel like she
like that?
Erica, because she said, Erica,
like
you're not coming for me for another season. You're not going to come for me, sis. I'm going to get you. I'm going to check that.
Wasn't Cynthia like that, though? Wasn't Cynthia like that in the beginning?
Especially Cynthia, Diva's idol.
Wasn't Cynthia like that?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Sebastian, I see you sliding in the shade. I caught it. You was like, especially my idol. Yes, I caught it. Okay.
Diva, wasn't Cynthia like that in the beginning also?
Yeah, I love Cynthia because somebody had to take up for her because
look at her now.
And is she not missed this season on RHOBH? I miss her.
I miss her.
It's not even noticeable.
She was like that in the beginning, but look at her now.
I didn't even notice that she was gone.
Foxy, y'all reading the room wrong, Foxy. I do not hate Garcelle. I like Garcelle. She's a great addition to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And actually, she's actually standing up for Sutton. Okay, because now, Foxy, if we're going to tell the truth, we got to tell the truth. The first season, she did not stand up for Sutton. She did not.
The first season, Sutton wasn't really there.
Hold on, because
I
gotta talk to Foxy, because Foxy, like a lot of other people, they think we just hating on Garcelle. I like Garcelle, but when you want to like her and just put her all the way up on this pedestal, we gotta calm down for a minute. We gotta let the truth be the truth and let the facts be the facts.
She got to grow on us.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Welcome into the building. Hey, Gabor.
What's good, Diva?
Oh boy.
Hi, Gabor.
I'm ready to talk about what happened on the episode.
For the youth, Gabor. For the youth.
For the youth.
What's up, Gabor? What's going on?
Nothing. I was just listening and I was hearing, I was hearing Sebastian say stuff that, I don't know. I heard successful. We
heard that from me, from Daniel.
We heard that people were successful, and then we heard, what else did we hear?
Honey, he gave her
flowers.
The whole
but what I was saying was, but they always giving Garcelle flowers she don't deserve. You know what I'm saying? That's why every time she walked into a room, they got to stand up and get the clapping for Garcelle.
Give it to him, Gabor.
And I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so Gabor, do we gotta clap for Candace though?
Well, when she dressed well. When she dressed well, but I'm just saying every time.
When she be hissing out the mouth, honey.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We can't deny that when Garcelle walk into a room, they don't start standing up and clapping just because she's the only. You know what I'm saying? They got to make her feel welcome.
Nobody claps for
Well,
Candace.
everybody
Like,
on
they
the show with
surprised that she
everybody
had
on the show with
her
Candace is
fashion
black
and
though.
everything.
Everybody on the show is black except for Robin. But
Wait, hold up
Your
now.
Right, but they
style.
was questioning Candace if she was there last season, and her eyes, they said that when they look at Candace, she's not there sometimes. When you see Garcelle speaking, she's all the way there.
I
Okay,
didn't say
so
nothing about us speaking though.
hold on,
It's
guys.
always
Hold on.
been.
Gabor, one moment.
Hmm.
What do you think about Kathy and Kyle just disrespecting her own sister? Wouldn't let her talk about her tequila, shaded her because she had these slippers on, and put her in the
Kyle the
basement
snake.
in the bunk beds.
Come
Didn't
on,
give her
boy.
no closet
Kyle the
space.
sleazy
That's just
snake.
not a good sister. That's just not a sister. I mean, she's not a sister. I don't understand why she's doing her siblings like that, because she has 4 daughters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's the
Good
crazy
point.
part. You have 4
Yeah,
daughters,
that's
and this is
true.
how you
Wait,
showing
that's
sisterhood
4?
on these shows.
Is it like a half sister thing or something? Because like I see Kyle doesn't have respect for like a half sister. I don't know. It's like, what is the deal? Like,
Well, her
is it
first
because
daughter
they
didn't
have
have the same
separate
father.
parents?
Yeah, I think that Kathy got her own daddy, and then Kyle and Kim got the same daddy.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle.
Mom
Right.
was a Rolling Stone, okay?
But she
Because
treated Kim worse than she treated Kathy.
She had
But
She
they
to.
sure
all
is.
have the
I
same
brought that
mama.
up too, Gabor, earlier. Remember that limousine scene? The way she treated her sister? I would have never did that to my
What did
sister.
she
she
say?
straight up
You're a
spied on
drunk.
her.
You're a drunk. And my husband treated you like a second wife.
I
And you
still would
stole my
Yeah,
house.
like
talk to my sister
horrible.
on a regular basis. I still would have carried up out of there. Like, come on, we need to get this right.
I
With
want
siblings
Kim.
like that,
Home
who
on the
needs
front
enemies?
line.
Honestly.
So wait a minute, hold on, guys. So good
But
boy,
this is what they do.
how do you feel
They
about
could
Erika Jane getting Crystal all the way together, telling her where's the proof, where's the evidence, what are you citing? She act like she was had Crystal up in the court. She wanted Crystal to give the facts.
You know, I'm Team EJ. I'm sorry.
We know that. We
No,
know that
Gabor
you're.
I am. I just go.
She
I feel for the victims and I'm compassionate, but y'all not about to leave me penniless and broke. Y'all not.
She said, "Get
That's
my
Listen,
money."
Gabor been
they could
saying
get
that since the
Diva.
beginning.
They could
Since
get
day
the
one,
Diva.
Gabor
He
been
said,
saying
"Get
that.
my money."
Diva. They could get the earrings, but the judge don't have to tell me to
She
give
said,
them to
"I fuck with
them.
this
We
all
Oh
for
my.
years." I'm
Look,
like,
they
"Oh,
can have
Lord.
they can have the earrings. The judge is gonna have to tell me to give them to her. The judge gonna have to tell me what to give up now. Look,
Gabor, where
I
Erika
lost
messed
them.
up.
I
Where Erika messed up.
threw him at Tom when he left. Tom forgot where he put him. Look,
No,
he
when
No,
Erika
listen,
where
you
Erika
want
messed
to know
up
what?
was naming
She
all the
messed
stuff
up
that
her
she
own
had.
self, right? Because she was
Mhm.
like, I have the earrings. I could show them to you.
Oh,
And
baby,
she
she
And the
was
told her,
purse.
bragging, didn't she?
And the
She
purse.
bragged, baby.
yeah, and she said they're not worth 750,000. They're worth 1.3 million. I'm like,
Right.
oh,
Like on TV. Like, why would she
they
brag
had
about that?
increase.
She was drunk, but
They
that was I gotta give it to Garcelle though. This is the only thing I'm gonna give her. But that was cute though. How she said, "What does $750,000 earrings look like?" I said, "Woo," because even she ain't got no $750,000 earrings. But that was funny. I loved it. She said, "What does $750,000 earrings look like?" Garcelle was dying to ask that question.
But she did eventually. The earrings are gone. She don't have the earrings no more. She had to give them up.
And she's
Yeah,
fighting
she
to get
did.
them back
Oh Lord.
Why waste the money? Move
And
on
she over
with
there
your life.
telling on herself on
because she's not
TV.
She
paying
never
her
get a
legal
new
fees.
husband. She
She's
wasted
over there
No,
telling
she's not
herself on
paying
her
her
new
TV.
legal
husband.
fees.
Diva, you
No,
would have
that
gave up the earrings.
that white
I
man
would
in
have gave
Vegas
up
that
the
she on her
earrings.
knees
I
doing it to.
would have gave up the earrings. I would have had a sale of all of my goods. Let me tell you something. You can always recover things, but it's going to be very hard to change people's mind about your personality, about your level
Mm-hmm.
of integrity, about all of that. And I'm good. I could live, it's just Erika, right? I could literally live in a studio apartment. It would be the cutest thing you ever saw. But I don't need money that bad that if I found out my husband was doing something shady, guess what? I would stand 10 toes down and say I didn't know what he was doing. But on the flip side, I would say, come through here, get anything that I have to make it right with these victims. You can sell the shoe, you can sell my pocketbook, but I'm not going to. And even if I did keep a little something, because you got to keep a little something, you got to have a little trunk with some things you just can't part with. You be like, you hide those, but you act like you're giving everything else. You just give it up, give it up, give it up.
But
And I would keep my 5
And-
things that I absolutely have to love. But when I showed up at an event that was on the TV, I wouldn't have those things with me. I'd be like Kathy Hilton. I would have
like
the
the
bag
poorest
that
thing
you buy from
possible.
the store to put the groceries in. That's what I would have my stuff in. Y'all would think I'm dirt poor.
I
Did
would
you
Now,
wear
see?
Diva,
jeans
now
and
you know
But
what I'm
Diva,
gonna
she
handbags.
say.
already living in somebody's pool house. She
Diva,
already living in somebody's pool
Can
house.
I
That ain't
speak
no
on
pool
that?
house that she living
Diva,
in.
Diva,
Can
you
I
know what
speak
I'm
on
gonna
that one?
say? Not in New York. Not in New York. You're not gonna act like you're not gonna be doing things behind my back, and I don't know about it. No, that's stupid. That's stupidity
What
right
do you
there.
mean, your Daniel? What do
Honestly.
you mean, your husband? Like
Yeah,
you saying your
I'm gonna
mate?
know exactly what's going. If I married you, I'm gonna know what you're doing on your as your job, what your income is. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I didn't know. Are
As
you
soon as we wake
serious?
up, I'm
Erica
checking
Are
the
you
bank
knew,
account
serious?
with
and
my
her and
husband.
Tom
Because we sharing an
plotted
account, and then
to say he
yeah,
was
I'm gonna
crazy, and
know
they put all
everything
the
you're
money
doing.
overseas,
Not in New York.
and she
Okay,
Sorry.
got the
so wait,
money.
hold on
They
one
got a
second.
fund
Hold on one second.
overseas.
Hold on one second, because we're gonna go around and see who would give these earrings back. But Daniel, before I go around and see who would give these earrings back, let me tell you this. If someone's out to deceive you, you won't know until you know. You can ask your mate every question you want. But if I got a bonus on my job and you don't know I got a bonus, I'll tell you if I want to tell you. And not only that, I'll be like, the bonus was for $2,000, and meantime it was for $5,000 or $10,000. How you gonna know?
And that's why I gotta build that friendship with you and know exactly who you are before I
You
say I'm
There's
gonna
plenty
marry
of
you.
people Daniel.
Hell
There's plenty of people
no.
that build a friendship. They think that their
No.
mate is their best friend, and in the meantime, it's the enemy.
No, honey, I don't believe in
I'm
that.
not telling nobody
That's
about all of
Daniel.
my money at
Okay,
all.
ask questions.
I'm
Ask
always keeping
everyone.
Okay, so
stash.
hold on. Let's go around the room
Curves, you
and
look
find
pretty
out
today.
who's giving
Hi.
back the diamond earrings. Best IBK, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so let me know. And y'all tell us in the chat, are you giving back the earrings or are you going to keep them? Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Mel. Are you giving back the earrings? Or are you going to make the victims right? Are you going to right or wrong?
Okay, so for me, if I was in Erica's position, I would give that to earrings while I'm working in a soup kitchen. That's what I would do because I want to repair my image. With people thinking I'm a greedy person who married for money. Also, I want to say one thing about Erica. I think that Erica simply, whether she knew about it or didn't, she's in shock. I can see that on TV. That's why she's so angry. Erica, you need to accept that you married a person who was allegedly a criminal. He did things that took money from other people. You have not accepted that. So now you want the courts to put it in writing that this is who he is. You have to accept it emotionally so you can go, you know what, this is not right. I'm sitting over here in these $1 million homes and all this jewelry, and yeah, I got people who have been burned, people who have lost stuff, who are literally waiting around so they can get their medical bills paid. And I'm sitting around here saying that I'm owed something. Accept who you married and what he did, and now you can start making decisions about your life where you can make income separate of your marriage to Tom. So I think that's where she's having a problem at. She still want the payoff. She still want that with him marrying him to pay off for her in some way. And I'm sorry, it's not going to pay off at all. You have nothing from that marriage that you've had with him. That's just a harsh reality.
Lisa, thank you, Mel. Lisa Lee, she said she would have sold the earrings and gave the victims half.
Wait, you still going around the room because I want to say something.
Yes, I'm going around the room. Hold on, I
Okay.
just had to read that. Kai, what are you doing? Are you giving these earrings back?
I would be smart. If you don't care about anyone's feelings, I would have grabbed the earrings and everything else, put them in my own escrow account with my lawyer, and tell the judge, show me the paper trail of what item was bought with what money, and handed it over immediately and not fight for an appeal. That way I can keep some things and still show that I'm a part of the process and not fighting against anything.
Okay. All right. Toria, are you giving back the earrings?
Mic drop.
They would have been already gone. And I'm telling you, Erica and Tom, when the first news story dropped, they planned to say Tom was crazy. They took all the money and put it in the Cayman Islands somewhere, and they talk every day on the phone. Ain't nothing wrong with Tom. Erica knew everything, and what's done in the dark will eventually come to light. Them
All right.
earrings would have been gone. I would have been dead.
Thank you. Daniel, are you giving back these earrings?
Absolutely. Okay. So what? You wait. So I married you. We had some bomb ass sex, and then you give me a nice like 1 mil pair of earrings. They came from where? Oh, they're from burn victims, and they're also from plane crash victims, and the people died off of these things. No, take them, please. That's not gonna be on my conscience. I'm not gonna have that on my conscience. You can take the earrings. I don't need them. So yeah, I'm giving them
Curves,
back.
you look pretty today.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate
So Mo said, did the other lawyer's wife give back anything? Tom couldn't have done this alone. He didn't do this alone, but his mistress gave back her stuff. Okay. So come on now. Like we gotta let's put this in perspective here. Sebastian, are you giving back the earrings?
Y'all are gonna hate me.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Here's Sebastian
first of
go.
all-
Come on.
First of all, I would have pawned the earrings, give the money to, maybe some developing nation that has some people who are hungry and actually are really suffering badly. That money, because the victims are dead. I'm just gonna say it point blank.
What?
No, it's for their surviving family.
It's for their surviving family.
Well, yes, which means also children who lost their parents in the flight.
Okay, I understand.
But when you also got a burn victim,
that's a separate lawsuit for $11 million.
Yeah, you gotta have the earrings, girl.
Sebastian, are you giving them back or not?
I'll try not to very hardly.
So you're Erica. So you connecting with Erica. Okay.
Matter of fact, here's the earrings, here's the purse, here's the dress, here's this, here's that.
But Gabor, are you giving back these earrings?
I will give them. I'm telling you, I'll give them back. The judge that's gonna have to tell me to give them to him.
So you Erica.
All the way down to look from the root to the
hold down to the end.
Yeah, the judge.
No. You're giving them up. Are you going to appeal to get them back?
No.
Okay, that's what you're doing. So you're not the same.
Yeah, I mean, I give them up. I'm just saying the judge's going to have to tell me to give them to him. That's all.
That's fine. Yeah.
So, Curves, are you giving back the earrings?
I do not like bad mojo. Did you guys ever see the Brady Bunch episode where they went to Hawaii and the little boy picked up the totem he wasn't supposed to pick up and everything went bad? And then they were like, you had the what? And then as soon as they went and put it back in the sacred place, everything started going good. Erika should take a freaking note from the Brady Bunch kids. Because Peter Brady took that thing, and as soon as he put it back, his life went back to normal. So when she gives back the earrings, she'll get some of her other stuff that she lost.
Energy will change.
Get her good name back. Maybe she'll get some good karma back. Who knows? Maybe the next person won't be a trifling thief, and she'll come up even further. She has to be willing to let go of some of this ill-gotten gains. Not to freaking mention that possession of stolen goods is a crime when you're certain with, it could be a crime, y'all. And they can find the money trail to see that it was clearly the check was written to M&M from his account at Girardi Keys. I don't care if it was to replace something else. You should have took the money out of an account that didn't say Girardi Keys to give me a replacement set of earrings for the second time. I'm not buying it. Keep your bad mojo. Take these earrings, please.
They do.
Some life, because it's not good. It's not a good look. She came off looking like a freaking ice queen. Oh my God, but she's gonna be burning in hell wishing she was
let me ask. Can I ask you a question, Diva?
You don't block your blessings.
I have a question.
Because
it doesn't seem like there's no empathy for Erica though. Like she is in a bad situation.
She has enough empathy.
The Lord says don't hold on.
She married a man who was a fraud. She married a man who was a fraud. She is a wife in ruin.
Listen,
no.
God says don't hold on to items.
Right there. Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second.
Block your blessings.
That piece right there, that she was a wife in ruins. I said this chick is too much. Go ahead, Sebastian.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah. Sebastian, you can talk if your train is back on the track. Go ahead.
Can I talk after Sebastian?
It's very much back. It's
Yeah.
very
Oh my
back.
gosh.
Come on,
Okay.
Sebastian.
Gabor
Oh.
is right. We need to have empathy for Erika. We really
Okay.
truly do. We do. Gabor is right. You know, a lot of this could have
I
happened
have
to someone
empathy
that
for her.
a lot of this could happen to someone that we grew up with. You know, they were waitress and they just met an older man who
That's
had
not what
money
happened, though.
and
That's the
not what happened,
problem.
they brought up. They
though. That's
went
not
up.
That's the
what
We
happened,
we
though.
problem.
have to have some empathy for Erica. I
You
truly do
should've-
have empathy for her, but she needs to have some empathy and compassion as well for the victims of her husband. But I'm sorry, those earrings would have never gone back if I were her. I would have taken those earrings, I would have brought them somewhere else in a whole nother country if I had to, and have it staying there in some safe. I am
Well, she
not
don't have
giving
a
back those
private plane
earrings.
no more, so
I'm
she
not
can't
gi-
fly to another
Well,
country.
she give the earrings back. Maybe somebody will give her a plane.
Hello.
She don't have a private plane no more. She has to
But you know what I
fly.
want to
She
say?
can fly. She can fly commercial.
Can I say
So hold
something?
on.
You're not getting empathy from me if you don't know
Diva,
where your money came from.
Diva,
Are
can
you
I say this one
serious?
thing?
Yes, go ahead, Mel. Go ahead,
I want
Mel.
to say this. Yeah, I just was thinking about this what Sebastian and what Gabor said. You know what? I have no issues with giving empathy to people who give empathy to other people. So I think that for me, the issue I have with Erica is she's not very empathetic to other people. She said it in the episode. She don't give a damn about nobody but herself.
Right.
So I think that for me,
Exactly.
I need her to actually think about other people besides herself. Listen, like I said before, listen, Miss Erica, I'm gonna talk straight to you, honey. You're not the first person in America who married somebody and it went bad, honey. He didn't have no
Hello.
feeling on you.
Hello.
You didn't,
Wait,
you know,
Hello.
this
but
this
how
is
you?
this is the wait. Can I say this is the name of the game? You got into a bad marriage, a bad situation. He was a criminal. You know you knew about it allegedly. This happens to a lot of people. Now you have to figure out a way to accept it and stop being so mad at everybody. Why are you mad at the victims? You don't have empathy for nobody. That's why people don't have empathy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How you
Mel.
marry
Yes.
a man and say I don't know where he got his money from? Are you serious, girl? Are you
She's
delusional?
crazy.
Did you fall off the
She
bridge
she want to
and
act
bump
all
your
in
head?
like she don't
Are you
know nothing.
serious?
She know everything.
She
know
said she knew everything. Remember, she used to say, "I know everything that goes on." And now all of a sudden,
Exactly.
She didn't know nothing
she's a
because she's sitting
platinum.
there saying she don't know exactly where
And
the money
and
came
I
from.
agree. Like those earrings have a bad juju. I would have been gave them back. She could have been moved on with her life and rebuilt her career by now. She could have still been performing. She could have, but she don't want to do the hard work. She wants everything
And what
handed
does Erica
to
need
her.
empathy?
I don't
She
feel
could have
bad for
she could have
You
Erica.
need
gave
to
the earrings
empathize
back,
with
built
her.
her career,
So,
and bought herself
hold
better
on, guys.
earrings.
Hold on, guys, because everybody's talking at the same
Yeah.
time.
But
Let me hold on one second. Let me just throw this into the scenario. Like Mel said, she's not the first or the last person that is going to go through a horrific marriage. Okay, it's happened before her. It will
Lisa
happen
Ray?
after her, and it probably happened the same time as her. Okay, there's plenty of people. I mean, Phaedra had to go through it. Her man got locked up. Okay, she thought she was going to have this happy life and be a happy wife and raise her kids, but her man went behind bars. She carried on with her life. Okay, of course she went through it. She thought she was going to be with somebody really good. He turned out to not even want her. She got kicked out. She had zero when she got kicked
And
out.
Miss
She
Diva,
picked up, carry
And
on,
moved.
and she moved on with her life.
and Luann
Everyone
too.
needs to
Luann.
get over it. You want people to feel sorry for you because you had a bad marriage and you no longer are like uber rich. Okay, get over it, girlfriend. You don't have a plane. You don't have your glam squad. You don't have whatever. So what? You're still breathing. You're still living. If you, like you said, if you were Erica Jane, okay, it's expensive to be me. Go back in that studio, make another hit record or whatever you want to do. Start making your money back and buy your own plane.
She
Okay.
has a fan
Oh,
basis,
but you
just
know
like
what?
she shot, just like by Sheree. Like she had a fan basis waiting. For
I
her
gotta
to
say,
come
I gotta
You know
say
why
this.
she can't go
Erica
back
has
to
a fan
singing?
basis.
Wait.
Her singing career was funded by her husband. She was basically Pia Zadora. She wasn't signed with Capitol Records. She wasn't signed with Death Row.
She was independent.
Funded like freaking music project because she had money to Capitol.
Yes, she will.
They have the money, so she can't go freaking sing for free because
I
she's
gotta-
not like that. And I do have empathy for even the schemiest of schemers. I have empathy for her because I wish she would get it right, but she doesn't deserve like anything. She doesn't deserve a pass to not give this.
I gotta say
She's
this.
the
I
ice,
gotta say
she's
this.
the ice queen. That shit came out of her mouth and said, I don't care about nobody but me, myself, and I. Okay.
She meant
And
that.
she wanted to know why her co-workers, her friends, wasn't more concerned about her than they are about some victims and some people that lost their lives or who have trusted a lawyer to get them their money, to get them their due right. That whole law firm needs to go up in smoke.
Right.
But in the meantime, like I said, you have some a property that can make this thing right. Give it back, okay? The mistress gave back her stuff. Give back to her.
Right.
I gotta say this,
And
Diva.
also,
It's not how you fall; it's how you get back up. Because the
Exactly.
comeback is greater than a setback. So
Well,
you
that's
sitting there saying, "Okay, you fell, and you're not giving back the earrings, girl. The comeback is better than a setback, and you just coming up wrong." No, let's be classy, not nasty.
Can I speak?
Again,
Can I say
you're
this?
Can I
though?
actually
Let's
speak?
not forget, like, this was a
Jesus
marriage
Christ.
of convenience. Like,
Right.
you did not see love between her and Tom on the show.
Nothing.
You seen a transactional relationship. Let me
Yes.
just make that point. There wasn't
Right.
really no love. He got a whole mistress
Right.
on the side. Their relationship was transactional,
Exactly.
and the transaction has ended.
Exactly.
There you go. Listen, with these swiping credit card for the last time, it was declined. Get over it. Go ahead, Gabor. What was you going to say?
Can you hear me?
Okay, Kai, give me a minute. I'll come right to you after Gabor. Go ahead.
You know, for me, I have a lot of my whole thing is Erika is. I get that y'all saying that she's heartless and she said that she only cares for herself, but she's the one in the position. She's over 50 years old, right?
You
And
got more
she's
stuff for her. Where's your sympathy like this for Garcelle, though?
what I do have sympathy for Garcelle, but I tell the truth when it's time to tell the truth.
Garcelle.
Okay,
Am I not supposed to tell the truth when I see it? What I'm saying is,
hold on, guys.
What I'm saying with Erika
Go
is
ahead.
that I do get her being defensive. She is the one that's going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is the one that's going through it. Of course, of course, a person that's going through something like this is not going to be happy and rainbows and you know what I'm saying, lollipops about the situation when they losing their livelihood. You know what I'm saying? This is a 50. No, I'm serious. This is a 50-something-year-old woman.
Okay, so hold on, Gabor. Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on, everybody, because I'm gonna speak to that, Gabor. Hold on one second. Miss D Green said, "Okay, come on, Miss D Green. The Jon Snow had to go through it. Luann had to go through it. Tamara had to go through it. The list goes on. Okay,
but the magnitude."
But hold on. Boss woman back at the bad marriages. She can rise out of the ruins, girl.
But the magnitude.
Get up and rise up. Go ahead.
The magnitude, but the magnitude that they're going through, that what Erika's going through, is nothing compared to what them girls went through. Those girls can see light at the end of the tunnel. They were married to men who had money at the end of the divorce. They could probably get something. All of everything that Erika and Tom had is almost about to be taken away from them. Everything, right? It may not be nothing. It may not.
I'm sorry.
That girl is living in a pool house. She's living in a pool house, and y'all saying that she can go out there and sing and make a. But it's a lot of singers that ain't got no private jet. Erika will never have another private jet again, ever. Okay, she ain't got the vocals. She don't got the vocals.
Has an offshore account.
Naughty.
Can I speak now?
She don't have the vocals.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Because I don't have the bandwidth to go back and forth.
Hold on one second. Kai, go ahead. What did you want to say?
Thank you. Finally stepping through again.
Sorry.
Erika's not destitute. Erika's not paying her legal bills. Tom's friend is, of 20 years. He's been paying for her a month before the divorce, and he's come out and stated so. Has paid over $750,000. Erika almost makes $1 million on the TV show that she's acting a fool on. So she is not just out destitute in the dirt with nowhere to go. I am with Gabor, though. She can't go back singing because she never made a dime, as Logic Curve said, because she never got paid to sing. Tom was always paying for her to fly to Greece to perform. There are other ways for her to do so, like when she was being an ambassador for Fenty and all that kind of stuff, but she ruined her name acting a fool on this show, as Diva said. She said last season all she has is her name, and she is the one who is ruining her name on this show, trying to keep all these little the earrings and the bags and the shoes when you're supposed to go ahead, make sure that you can come out of this as best as you can. That way people want to do business with you and you
And
can
don't
make your
forget
money
about
again.
just that.
The comeback is greater than a setback,
Can
and
you
she
let
is
me
not
finish?
coming
Because
back.
I don't talk that loud. Can you let me finish?
Mm.
No, I don't. So I know I can get lost in the talk when everyone starts talking. So that's just on me. So for me, you can't come out here saying I'm a wife less than destitute when you're the same wife who was on TV saying he was so mean and cold. I dropped him off, even though I'm saying he has dementia and I already had another house and I left in the night. You divorced him. He didn't leave you. So yes, we can have empathy for her, but as everyone else said, I can't have more empathy for you than the victims of your husband. Even furthermore, when you were on TV lying about them, saying we're not sure they got paid, what victims of the firm? And this is what gets her in trouble because she says things like this on on an international TV, and then the lawyers go right because people forget there are different types of lawsuits. The earrings are about the bankruptcy. People are trying to sue her for not getting paid, which that one is stupid. But there's another lawsuit, a civil RICO lawsuit. It's just civil, but they have also handed it over to the feds. And in it, she's supposed to be the front woman. And the main issue they have with her is going on TV and stating falsehoods because in the background, she was also signing over property like the house, knowing that the firm was in financial distress. You know that you were in the same, you were listening to the judge call your husband a crook, saying this is the tip of the iceberg. He stole these people money. And then you go back on TV saying these people are lying. We don't even know if they got paid or not. So she's digging herself a bigger hole with all these different lawsuits she has going on.
She's crazy. She's crazy.
The comeback is greater than a setback, and she is not coming
You
back.
know what the other weird
She's her
part
own worst enemy. She's gonna diminish herself.
Isn't it ironic? She keeps talking about let the law decide, let the law decide. But her husband, the lawyer,
yes,
the top lawyer,
won the money for
the number one.
And the law said, give them their money. And he took it. Money and funded her patting her puss.
Simple as that. Point blank period, Curse. I hear you.
Yeah. So listen, here's the thing, right? I personally, my thing is, I don't care if it's 99 lawsuits. I don't care if the lawsuits are divvied up by technicalities of property of earrings or money because of this or money because of that. My whole thing is, for sure, we at the very least know there were some people that their family members or maybe even themselves was in a horrific accident, a plane crash, right? They went to a law firm and they expected that law firm to do right by them, and they was done wrong. And on that note alone, whether I know this, that, or the other, if I was married to the man who was connected to that law firm and was running that law firm, and I know that I was living in this mega mansion, and now there's sprinklings in the air that when we was living off of all this money, when I was spending $100,000 a month on the glam squad, when I was buying red bottom shoes, bags for $5,000, this for $20,000, this for $30,000. If
Gucci dresses off the runway,
right? If I right off the runway, if I had any idea or clue after the fact that this is how I was living, trust and believe you're getting everything back. I'm going to clear my good conscience. Forget about my name. I'm going to clear my good conscience and say, you know what? Come get all of this stuff. I can recover. And you know what, Gabor? You know, you said you said because Erika, she in her 50s, she's never going to get she's never going to get that thing again. The thing is, though, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Most
you could be 19. I know what you. I know. I'm playing with you, good boy. But let me say this: you could be 19. You could be 20. You could be 45. You could be 55. If you got it and you have it, you will always get another person. Trust and believe. They will come for you. They will come. They will come for you. They will come for you, and you will recover. You understand what I mean? So, but you know, they say a man is what they think they are, right? So if you think you could get it, you probably will get it. If you think you can't, then you probably won't. Okay. So my thing is, I have been in a situation where I had it all, and then that situation dissolved, and I had to start from zero. Okay. And guess what, though? Keep everything you got. I'm good. Started from zero, built my way back up. What's meant to be is going to be. But if you do the right thing, I promise you, good will spin back around to your way. So Erika is trash for even saying what she said last night.
Wow.
I was trying to connect to her this season, but for her to say she don't give a darn about the victims, what about me? I'm a wife in ruins. Well, honey, get in line. Get in line. There's a lot of wives that are in ruins. There's a lot of wives where the husband, when they divorced them, they hid the money just so they wouldn't have to get that wife alimony or nothing. There's a lot of husbands that left their wives for dead pretty much, okay? Didn't want them to get a dime after they was with that man, raised the kids, didn't work, and at the end, they tried to give away without giving that wife anything. So as someone stated, she gets $1 million check. Is it going to cover her $100,000 glam squad every month? No. Can she go back into all of them stores where she was buying stuff, just just not even thinking about
the budget?
But on that note, I'm gonna shut up because you said it right there. It's called a budget, okay? It's called a budget. Yes, the war.
How did you feel about the charitable Queen Diana and $100,000 that she gave?
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. You know
Good
what?
boy, you gotta go there.
Yeah, I know he did, but you know what? The thing is with Diana. Diana knows how to play a game. Listen, Diana knows how to play a game, and she got the money to play it, right? So whether or not she actually is giving up this 100K or not, she knows how to do the work. She's out in these streets trying to clear her name, right? And so, and right now, all of them are looking like mud, especially Kyle, because her own niece called her mean, okay, for what she did to her sister, to her mother, Kathy, right? So Paris is out in these streets saying, my aunt is mean, and now she trumped everybody on that cast by saying, whether she say donate, gave, or didn't give, she did trump the cast, right? Because she said it was convenient that last night's episode, she said that everybody could do something about it. And we just heard the previous day that she donated this money. So very strategic, right? Very telling. It's like, she said in her confessional, right? Everybody's talking, but we all can do something about it. Listen.
Yeah, they got tears in their eyes. They're crying. They're crying about it, but they ain't getting no money.
I would not be paying Erika's bill, Gabor.
People, we need your money. It's about the victims. It's about the victims.
I'm supposed to pay that because I care about.
You ain't supposed to play. But you can give. You can help. The $750,000 earrings ain't the $12 million bill neither. But y'all want them.
But that would
they're going after everything.
But let me tell you this: because you married a husband that was crooked and you enjoyed all of those benefits that whole time, you enjoyed it. Not me. You the one was on the private jets. I was driving my little Pinto over here, right? You the one that had the glam squad. I was in my house doing my makeup myself. So no, I'm not donating nothing. What I can do though is when you hold the swap meet or the what is it, the little whatever, the flea market to sell your shoes and stuff. I come there and help collect the money and help you sell that stuff. But am I giving up my dollars? No, ma'am. I'm not. No.
After you told me I need to care more about you than some burn victims, then I'm supposed to pay your bill? Because you upset, because you depressed, because you lost everything, because you married the man who you knew who he was, because you used to work at his law firm and you said you knew everything and you knew that the only income coming into your house was from him being a lawyer. And but where was the money coming from? Where was the money coming from? You didn't question nothing for however many years. You didn't question one time how you could spend $12 million on the company freaking American Express card. You didn't question that once. But now
I didn't know.
And you're not looking at the bills.
The same way Karen Huger didn't know that. The same way Karen Huger didn't know that the Black Bill Gates was going through his tax stuff.
Well, Erika was signing papers saying that the firm was in financial distress. Erika was signing away her house and other property to say that we will pay our creditors, which are the financial services that prop up law firms that do contingency work. She signed over her house for it.
Did we see
She
her
signed over
sign
her
it?
house to multiple times, saying that she knew that they were going to pay the creditors before Tom got paid, because Tom was behind paying the legal services financial people.
The
I
So
need
she
to
knew
grand,
see her
something was
on
going on.
camera.
the
I
grand
gotta
jury.
see her.
They
I gotta
all
see her.
lying.
I gotta see her on camera signing something like they had Todd do their prenup, because Tom could have
She
forged
was
that
going to
signature on them.
depositions. She was going to depositions. She was
Yeah.
being subpoenaed.
What about her? Kai, did you hear about the when she went away as Mrs. White?
That one is still in the ether webs. I'm going to talk mostly about like what I know. And what
Yeah.
I know is people don't even understand how disgusting Tom was. Tom was in financial trouble for so long that he started hiring runners, which is illegal. He was hiring runners, which one of them was a disbarred lawyer for fraud, to go
Okay, so
after people who.
hold on, because I want to bring this back a little bit, right? I want to bring this back. If he was in that for so long, you mean to tell me nobody was knocking on the
Because
door?
people were covering
No,
for him.
but there was no mail coming into the house. I mean, how much covering can you do? He had people covering 24/7. She knew a sprinkling of something. A sprinkling of something. And sometimes it's not because you know something for a fact. Everybody gets a gut feeling that
Women's
something is
intuition
not right.
alone.
Nothing says something is not right. But listen, guys, I love y'all. It's been a minute. This is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap, and we're gonna go around the room to get your final remarks. All I gotta say is get back the earrings, okay? Sell the red bottles. That purse you had at the dinner, sell that too, okay? Those stitches in your hair, donate them to somebody, okay? But we done with this nonsense, and we're sick of you. Kai has left the building. Okay. Curves, what is your final words?
My final word is overall the episode. I liked it, but why do they even have Sheree in the back? She's practically like a cardboard cutout because they don't let her say anything.
Sheree who?
There, Sheree Zampino, exactly. Sheree who? That was weird to me. I liked the dinner for two between Mauricio and Dorito over there talking about sausage. I didn't think it was great when Kathy and the got dissed by her sister, started making fart noises with her mouth when she brought up her tequila, and then Lisa Rinna was like, "Not this again." You know, I didn't appreciate.
Wait, hold on, Curve. Lisa, hold on 1 second, Curve, because Lisa Renna had the nerves because you had two parties for that Renna Beauty. But we can't talk about tequila again. She pissed me off. And so did Kyle. Kyle is the worst sister ever, but go ahead.
It was so high school, and that's just classic Lisa. Classic Lisa. And then Crystal, I was glad that her and Garcelle kind of tag teamed Erika Jane into a frenzy for us all to get the "you need to care about me" so we could put the nail in her ever-loving coffin. How we feel about who she is. We know for a fact, without a doubt, that yes, hurt people. That's still not an excuse to say these victims that are proven, your husband's victims, are alleged just so you can keep some stuff. Give back the earrings. It's bad mojo, Carmageddon's and BI. That's
yeah. Daniel, what are your final words? Are you there?
Diva, can I go? Because I'm gonna go real quick.
Yes, go ahead now.
Okay.
Hey, Mel.
Hi. You know what? I'm just going to say for me, this was a good show, good conversation. I was listening most of the time. I was engaged. And I was saying in the back chat that, you know what, the way that Gabor was describing his girl Erika was, it was so sweet. It was so adorable. I was like, oh my God, he's trying to convince me. I'm like, what in the world? But anyway,
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just giving the facts.
Okay, Mr. Gabor, I get you. But it was very sweet. So, you know, I'm gonna let you listen, live in your reality about this woman being a saint. But you know what?
It's not my reality, it's ours. No,
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Okay, Mr. Gabor. You know what? But you know what I'm gonna say? This is what I'm gonna say. I'm looking at Kathy because we've been hearing about Kathy all year about this big, controversial moment. So that's what I'm looking forward to next week. I want to see it unravel. I want to see is either Kathy's lying or Lisa Rinna lying. That's what I'm most focused on this whole season. Now the girls have been good. It's been whatever, but they talking about some heavy things that's supposed to be coming up. So that's where I'm really excited to really see who's lying. Is it Kathy or Lisa Rinna? That's what I'm most gearing up for. That's going to be big. That's going to be the whole reunion. I think it's just that very explosive thing. But
I
other
think
than that,
Kyle is the biggest liar, Mel.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what?
Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear
I'm
Daniel?
gonna.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, Daniel,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Okay. So I wanted to answer the question. For what I want to see is a fully realized Sutton. I want to see the reunion where actually Sutton gets back and actually shows up receipts and everything and defends herself. And I'm ready to see next season for Lisa Rinna to not be there anymore. I'm really tired
Yes,
of.
hallelujah.
I'm really tired of I don't really like people that block people's bread, and that's what she's been doing to Lisa Vanderpump. She did that to Denise, and now she's trying to do it to Garcelle and Kathy. So I don't like that. So I'm ready to see her not be on my TV anymore. You don't block people's bread like that, and
I know. I
you
never
certainly
really
don't
like.
lie on
I
people.
never really like Lisa Rinna. The
Maybe we
fact
could
that
bring
she
back
had to
Lisa
change her
Vanderpump.
hair.
Maybe
I
Lisa
didn't hear that. Say
Vanderpump
that
and
again.
Denise could come back now that she's gone.
Okay. Nadi, what's your closeout?
You know, this episode was just okay for me. Over Erika trying to play the victim, knowing she has an offshore account. Give the earrings back, Erika. Not yours. I'm over it. Give the earrings back. It's simple. You can rebuild your career like we mentioned the whole show. Like she's
Yeah.
still young enough where she could get it. You know,
Yeah.
and I feel like, look, are you keeping the earrings for a storyline at this point? Seriously, like, why are you really keeping them?
Yeah.
You're a kept woman. You're a kept woman forever. Thanks to
Right.
Tom Girardi. He gonna make sure you good.
Right.
He gonna make sure you good. And that's I just want Erika to get the earrings back, y'all. That's it.
Yeah.
Get the earrings back. Gabor, what's your closeout?
I don't have a problem with what Erika said last night. She didn't say that she wouldn't give the earrings back. She just said that she wanted the court of law to tell her to give them back, and I think that's commendable. At least the earrings didn't come up lost. At least the earrings didn't come up lost or missing. It's like y'all don't want to give her credit for nothing, and the victims have the earrings now. Now she's going to appeal them through a court of law, is what Kyle said. But at least they do have the earrings, and she was a woman of her word, right? She gave the earrings back. As far as Kathy, I want Kathy to slap Kyle in the mouth. You the big sister, you will always be the big sister. You know what I'm saying? I want her to slap Kyle right in the mouth. But did you hear her tell Kyle to stop cussing? And Kyle stopped cussing though. She say, knock it off. You need to quit cussing.
That was funny.
What else I saw?
Come on, good boy.
I like Cherie. Y'all don't like Cherie, but I like Cherie.
Cherie who, good boy? Cherie
Yes, who?
She's not saying nothing, Gabor. What is it like?
3 episodes.
Cherie Smith.
Come on, boy.
Y'all give it to. I like her. Y'all just don't like her because y'all want her to be a puppet to Garcelle, but y'all want her to be a puppet to Garcelle.
Bill and Jada.
But no, I enjoyed the show last night, and I just have some sympathy for Garcelle a little bit.
See, it was a Floridian slip.
Yeah, I have sympathy, but for Garcelle too. But I do have some sympathy for Erika. That's a lot she's going through. It's almost the only person I can think that went through something like her was like Lisa Ray, because when Lisa Ray was divorcing that man, it was like they took her money too to make sure that nothing was done to, make sure it was no fraud going on with what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So a person who was almost being lost without anything, but like I said,
Silent Bob. Somebody called you Silent Bob.
But no, I enjoyed the show.
Lisa Rinna is a narcissist.
She got a lot of things going on. So I will say this. You know what, Gabor? I get what you're trying to say about Erika. We just are not connecting, right? Because the thing is,
but Diva, me and you always connect though. That's why I'm so shocked. Because me and you always connect, and I just feel like that you don't like.
Yes, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Me and Diva always connect. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like that you're not being that you can't see past the victim.
Well, you know what I can't see past either? The fact that she's
Mhm.
sitting there, she's acting like she's a victim herself. She want to change the wording and says she's a wife in ruins. Well, I know plenty of wives that are in ruins, okay? And
For
they
real,
had
for
to
real.
get on with their life and figure it out. And those wives had to figure it out with some kids. So
Yeah.
this chick, she don't have no kids. She got to figure this thing out with. She got herself. And when you just have yourself to worry about, trust me, you 10 steps ahead of the game.
You in the best position of your life.
You in the best position of your life because it's just you. But when it's you and you got 3-4 kids that are looking at you, you can't even grieve. Because
Right.
you can't be in the corner crying because you got to feed these kids and you got to carry on. Because if you fall apart, the kids are going to fall apart too. So
What
she
about
just
Erica's son?
Huh?
Erica got a son too. What about Erica's son?
He
The
grown.
one that flipped over in the car in the
I'm
snow
playing.
and he lived too. Listen,
I'm
Come
playing.
on,
he's a
the boy
superhero.
now.
He a superhero because when you were in the car and the car flipped over 17 times and you came out alive and you still walking, talking, eating on your own, you ain't got to worry about that, son. He good. Okay. He got 10 angels looking over him. And so the fact that she is not even, like, and here's my other problem with her, good boy, too. She keeps taking up for Tom. She's trying to act like she's not, but I get the sideways message that she keeps saying. Every time you turn around, she keeps saying, are they victims? Do we know that for sure? Did they not get paid? Are you sure about that?
Right.
That's another problem that I have with her. So yeah, good boy, this is the first time ever
I've
we are
been
not
watching
on
you
the
guys
same
for a
page.
while, so it is a
One
first.
thing.
Good boy, let me just add this, and y'all, it's snow in Pasadena. I'm trying to tell you. So, good boy, they beat me down on Tuesday. I made a bet about She by Sheree. I don't really know if I lost. Okay, I'm not sure. Hey, Sin, I'm not sure if I really lost or not. But y'all beat me down. So I had to give in, good boy. I had to give in. Do you remember that bet I made about She by Sheree? I had to give in because Sin said I lost. So Sin, email me. There's your card. There's your Starbucks card. Did you see that there? But I didn't lose.
What was
But
the
you know what?
bed?
See, I'm not gonna be an Erica right
What was
now.
the bet, Diva? Because I wasn't here.
Listen, they was like, I told them that She by Sheree is going to go down. It's going to happen. It's going to be a good show. But because they're accusing Sheree of not having her own designs, they're trying to say I lost. I said it was going to go down and it was going to be a success.
No, but it happened. It happened. We didn't know she was going to knock it off, Diva. I didn't know she was really going to go to the wholesale district. I was just playing.
I know, but listen, and she did it. And she did it. And she did it. And you know, since said I lost, so okay.
So what are you doing? You buying? Are you buying one of her shirts? Are you seeing one of her shirts
for $142?
Andy Cohen got
it.
Andy Cohen
no.
got that.
So I guess on that note, the boy I did lose. Or that's what you're trying to say? No, I'm not buying no.
I'm joking, girl. A pair of Jordan. A pair of Jordans don't cost $142. I don't know who Sheree thinks she is.
I will not pay $100-something for
$142. But
nothing.
Sheree was selling the Who Gonna Check Me Boo shirts on season 9 when Phaedra did the little
for how much
drive.
How much was she selling those for?
I think she was selling them $40.
Oh, see, that's more reasonable.
Oh, see, that's
more reasonable. But $100-something for a t-shirt.
$142. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hey, Sin.
Hey, Sin.
Can you hear me? I don't think Sin can hear. Okay.
Audio.
I'm here.
You know. Oh,
hey, Sin. What's up?
No, don't backtrack now. It was Gabor, Canelo, you, myself, and I forget who the fifth person was.
Okay.
After the show, we were still on the line.
Oh, okay, it was after the show. See, I thought it was during. Okay, go ahead.
It was at the very end of the show.
Right. And what was the bet?
The bet was that She by Sheree would roll out. It wouldn't crash. The site wouldn't crash. It wouldn't be overpriced. You would have a t-shirt by the next show. None of that happened, Diva.
Because Diva not crazy. She not spending $140 for nobody t-shirt.
She's
But I
getting
thought
all easy sending you this gift card
We
instead.
go to the wholesale district and get our own t-shirts, Diva.
So
I
so
actually thought Diva was gonna
listen,
come
I'm
on
not
today
gonna
with.
be Erica J. I'm not gonna be Erica J. I lost and I got your gift card right here.
I
So,
thought you were gonna make a
you see
T-shirt.
my email address right up there. You email me. We gonna chat. We gonna get this thing done. I'm gonna pay off my bet. Okay. But then you didn't have to come up on the show. If we had that bet behind the scenes, you ain't have to come up on the show Tuesday and punch me in the face and knock me down and all
I
that.
didn't do that. I would never do that, Diva. Don't put that jacket on my back. Don't put that jacket on my back. I will become Sutton on you.
Not aggressive. Not aggressive.
Yes. I'll become Sutton with a twist of Erika.
I'm gonna cool you off.
Erica and Sutton is one and the same.
Mm-hmm. They're from Atlanta,
Whoa.
baby.
Whoa. See, your boy, you fighting at the 11th hour. I'm not even going to get into
They
this.
both aggressive. Diva, you know they both aggressive. Come on now.
They're both aggressive.
Yeah, come on, Sid. Who want to check me, boo? Come on, Sid.
Nah,
You came up here and checked
pay
me.
me, boo?
You came up here and checked me. What did you say?
Who gonna pay me, boo?
Who gonna pay me, boo?
I got your cups. I had options. I had a pink cup, a purple cup, and a brown cup. I said I'm gonna let her pick her favorite one because they don't have any black.
Here it is.
Here it is on the panel.
Starbucks, I'm going to give it to you. Okay.
That is hilarious.
Okay, so listen, guys, I gotta go. I had a ball with y'all. I loved it. Don't forget, guys, we have a lot of content creators that was on the panel today. Listen, y'all know I can't type. Okay, so type in but say subscribe next to your name. So type in your channels in there. We got Naughty Love that has her own channel. We got Curves that has her own channel. Oh, Daniel, you have your own channel? Is that what you're writing there? I don't know. I think he does. Okay. Yes, subscribe to Curves. There we go. Subscribe to Curves. Subscribe to Naughty.
I don't know how to
subscribe to Naughty Love. And listen, subscribe to Andrew Gabor's channel. Okay.
He only comes on once a week now.
Huh?
He only comes on
once a week for 5 hours at a time.
Listen.
No, I don't.
He has to come through. Oh, that's your Instagram. Okay, Daniel, thank you. He has to come through and talk his nonsense, okay? He's talking about stuff we feel for Erika. We ain't feeling for Erika.
I used to feel for
Erika.
She's too nasty.
Erika can get something that's even more expensive, worth far more than those earrings if she let them go.
See, Diva, they ain't never satisfied. Y'all ain't never satisfied.
You said we ain't satisfied.
What can she get? What can she give larger?
She could get peace of mind.
Oh.
There you go. I like that.
But it is a peace of mind if you ain't did nothing.
She's vexed. She's vexed, and she wouldn't be vexed if she was doing the right thing.
Oh.
Listen, guys, thank you, everyone. Don't forget on the way out, hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to our other content creators that was on this panel tonight, go check them out. Very good channels. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Oh, tomorrow night I'm doing trending topics. So we're gonna have some good topics that we're gonna talk about. And on Saturday, I have an interview with the guy from Haiti that found the baby in the trash, and I think he already adopted, or he's trying to adopt the baby boy. So it's a really good story. Hope to see y'all Saturday at 1. See y'all tomorrow night.
Good night, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.